exactly where mine is. This is my luggage.
Okay, well, we'll see. Okay,
Okay.
we are live. Sorry, y'all. I hope you can hear us. Please let us know if you're having any issues. We're sharing this one mic. And this is an impromptu stream that we're doing. I figured one of the things you'd want to talk about would be, hold on, I got to pull up other stuff just in case, because I can't always see, like, let me go here. Bear with me. It'll pop out the chat here.
Man, it's like, this reminds me of work where I have like 6 screens.
Right. I used to have a second monitor right here, but I didn't like having to turn my head because it bothered my neck to have to look over here, so I just stuck with this one. Okay, so I'm also streaming on Twitter, and I don't really get comments there because it just doesn't work quite the same, but I keep an eye on. Okay, so I figured one of the things you'd want to talk about was Bad Boys 4.
Oh yeah, Bad Boys 4. It was
This is my third time watching it, you guys.
A welcome treat. I'd say definitely by the end of it, it was it moved up slowly in my rankings.
And
I know
slowly?
I know our rankings are different. I've always been a fan of 2. That was the one that really made me happy. And 1 I really liked just because of just liking it so long ago.
Yeah.
And 3, when it came out, I watched it again. I told you, like, 1 time. And as
You've
I watched,
only seen that one once.
I've only seen it 1 time because I was like, after I saw it, it was one of those. I was like, it's good. I don't need to see it again. And then this one, I feel like that if I'm going to watch this 4th one again, I need to watch 3 again just to see all the lead up to it.
I rewatched 3 before my live stream with Paulie a couple weeks ago, so and I was glad I did.
I should have done it, but yeah. As I was watching the movie continuously, it was like, oh, here it beat 3 real quick, and then slowly but surely, I was like, oh, you know what?
It might be 2.
It's beaten 1. It's beaten 1, and I was like, oh man, I think right now at the very end of the movie, it's for me, it's like it's tied. I like it just as much as I liked it. The second one, I really love the second one. The second one had a lot of great cinematography in that movie that just it put me in awe when I was in the theater.
It had some cool action shots, but it was just a bit over the top for me, so I couldn't. That one's like way down in the bottom.
I think that one just also the loads of comedic moments it had.
There were
really
way
good.
too. It was so.
I don't know.
Goofy.
It was funny. Like I know it was dumb as hell. But that scene with them and the rats, it still cracks me up.
Because I'm like, that's not how rats do it.
I know that was the point that made it so funny. Because he's sitting there and he's like, Mike Lowry, he's trying to take it all seriously, and then Martin Lawrence is going like, just full comic mode as he brings him in over the frequency and he's talking to him. He's like, this papa rat is straight pounding this mama rat, and he's like, look, we're here to do this and such. And he's like, they doing it like we do.
And they totally don't.
Yeah,
it's so wrong.
I
No,
know.
not today, Putin's cat, because my brother's here. I had to move my regular chair, and I've made like space for 2 smaller chairs. So this is the best I could do. Otherwise, I'd have to turn it around, and the backdrop is not as impressive as this over there.
Troy.
Troy. He was wondering if I was related to Troy. Troy Pacelli is another YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
I've been on. If you've listened to my Other Side of Midnight stuff that I multicast.
Oh,
with Deleted,
yeah.
Troy
Deleted
is on
scenes.
there sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's Deleted. He says he's getting ready to do a stream, and he'll drop a like and catch the replay.
Oh,
All
cool.
right, Deleted. Good
Well
to see
done.
you. He's always streaming. I don't know how he finds the time. But he's always like,
Always
they're
there.
watching Twin Peaks, and they were watching Last Samurai earlier today, which that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's probably one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. Like standalones. I like all the Mission Impossibles except for 2.
Yeah, 2 is terrible.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal to rewatch. But yeah, The Last Samurai and Maverick are probably the top 2 Tom Cruise movies. I mean, he's got a lot of bangers out there. Like,
Yeah, he does.
They're really, really good. Like Edge of Tomorrow is really good.
Yep.
I really enjoy that one.
I like Oblivion a lot.
I know. Oblivion for me was, just for whatever reason, it was just like I enjoyed it, but it was it was like a one-off.
It was so gorgeous to me, like the shots and the
shots of everything.
score, and just I really loved how that came together. So back to Bad Boys.
Yes.
We both immediately knew.
Oh yes.
Something.
What's that guy's name? He's the guy who played Mr. Fantastic.
He also played Lancelot.
Yeah, he's Lancelot and King Arthur. King Arthur.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to think of. Oh, that's your phone. Where's my phone?
You're trying to think.
Check out the Seven Samurai if you want. I have seen the Seven
Oh,
Samurai
Samurai's, yeah, it's a long time ago too. Yeah, it's a good movie.
When we rented it from the library.
Wasn't
on
that
a
that
film,
wasn't that the one where like
film
the
strip
it kind of like
that
made
the
the
Magnificent Seven is made inspired by.
yes, but it was the one where, unless I'm thinking something different, it was where the blood spatter became such a big thing because the misfire of the blood.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You took film class, not
I,
me.
well, I don't know if that's for sure. I know there's some like there's some Japanese samurai movie, and basically he's supposed to cut this guy, and the blood was just supposed to pop out, and instead it sprays like an arterial spray everywhere, and it was just a mess up in the mechanical blood spatter.
And then
that
a
became
thing?
the thing for like anime. Whenever they would make a anime movie, they would slice somebody and blood would just be like this geysering out.
I'm looking for his name, y'all. Hold on, because that bugs me.
He's got such a super white
Eon
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And I don't know. That might be the wrong way to say it.
It might be Ian,
because
like like Ian McGregor. It might be Ian.
Anyway, that dude.
Yeah, that guy.
So he pops up. And you said,
He
what
said-
was it? What were your words?
So the guy just
it was really funny.
The guy just pops up and he goes, "Oh, I'm such." And he's like, "Well,
Yeah.
good to see you, Mayor." And I said, "He's crooked as hell."
And I said, yeah, I know. I knew that too the first time I saw him. And we both got a case of the giggles and we couldn't stop. I thought the people
No
in the
twist.
audience were
Yeah.
going to turn around and
Yeah.
tell us to shut up.
Please stop talking. Stop laughing. I'm sorry, it's funny. He's the bad guy.
Yeah, it was obvious.
Yeah.
But for a long time, I was actually suspicious of her.
Oh, there you go. Yojimbo. That was the one. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said Yojimbo was the one. So that was the one that inspired the crazy arterial spray for like basically Japanese animes.
Oh, okay. Hi, Corey. I'm going to be on his channel in mid-July. He's going
Okay.
to have me on for like one of his, I think, a Thursday night or Friday night live stream. I can't remember. But I've got it on my calendar, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
So, hold on. What?
They want to see a movie on what?
I'm sorry. My daughter's texting me. She says, I don't know.
Through Skype because she knows you're on here.
No, well, we always talk on
Oh,
Skype. She
no.
says, Javier and I want to see a movie on Monday. If I'm feeling better, should we go to a different theater that
Oh.
isn't Cinemark? You can go to whatever theater you want.
You want to get down, Levi? Or you want you?
He wants me.
Oh.
Levi. Come here, baby boy. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my God, he sheds.
I know.
I'm not
he
used to.
sheds a
I'm not
lot.
used to shedding dog. I have 3 that don't.
So we thought about, we were just trying to think of what to talk about, like to have some sort of topic-ish. And you suggested,
Like some lesser known films that, I mean, that obviously people probably know about, but lesser known films that have like surprise twist endings that aren't common, like other than Empire Strikes Back, where everyone really knows about
or the Sixth Sense.
yeah, everyone knows he's dead the whole time, things like that. Movies would be like akin to like Frailty. You know, it's like it's not like a super well known film, but it did have like a strange little twist ending at the end, which was kind of clever.
Wasn't it that he actually was seeing?
He was actually seeing demons,
Seeing
and
demons, yeah.
God himself was protecting him.
Yeah.
Because they look at the video footage later, because I'm thinking to myself, he just walked into a police station. Surely they would have seen his face. You know, this is a guy walking to a police station. He's talking to the detective. He's saying he knows who this killer is, and he's going to take him to go see him. And of course, he's there to kill that officer the whole time.
I've only seen it once, and it's been years.
So
but I
he's-
do remember
yeah.
that the twist ended up being that their father wasn't crazy.
Their
He
father
really
wasn't
was
crazy,
seeing things.
and then there was two sons, and
Right.
the one son was basically trying to stop his dad from doing it, and you are assuming that one son is Matthew McConaughey, grown up, but it turns out no, it was the other son that was helping the dad, that was willing to go on with this mission for God to kill these sinners.
Matthew McConaughey was the other son.
No, Matthew McConaughey was the son that was helping the dad.
father,
And then
okay.
the other son basically just ran off away from home or whatever. And at one point, Matthew McConaughey even killed his brother. Like he went after his brother.
Oh, I totally forgot about
his,
that.
His brother's like basically typing on a computer or typing.
I totally forgot
he's
about
typing on,
that
He's typing on a
part.
typewriter at the end. And he basically showed him and killed him. But he was there to kill the detective because the detective was like a demon too. He
demon.
had basically killed his ex-wife or his
Didn't Bill
father or
Paxton
something.
direct that movie? I think he did.
I think so, because I think it might have been his directorial debut or something.
I think because that recently came up during discussion. Yeah, The Departed definitely went places.
And I still have yet to like watch Infernal Affairs again. Like I saw it once.
Infernal Affairs.
It's basically the original version of The Departed, but it was.
Oh, is that a foreign language?
It's an Asian film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I've heard it's like somewhat better.
Okay.
And so I really want to check that one out. Did you guys put a spoiler warning?
Oh.
It's this whole thing is about spoilers.
Yeah, his beard. He's making up for the fact that he doesn't have.
That's right.
Anything up top.
Nothing up top. I didn't want to blind the camera.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Hey Drew, how are you doing? No, we did not, Arturo.
Everything's spoilers.
I probably should put like a little banner at the bottom. When this is done, I will probably retitle this.
Okay.
You know, so for anybody who might catch it on replay. Like Feast 3 ending was such a plot twist. The director had no idea if he was going to end the franchise. I have not seen Feast 3.
I haven't seen Feast 1 or 2.
I feel like I've seen the first one.
I don't know.
I don't remember what it's about, honestly.
Wait a minute. There's something else. There's a director who's done some movies that I was told to check out, and they're like kind of like instead of being like a Halloween horror film, it's Thanksgiving. Is this the one that they're talking about?
Feast?
Yeah, hold on.
I feel like Feast is an alligator film, but I might be mixing it up with something else.
Okay,
I don't know.
There's a director, Tim. It's not Roth. It's another director, Eli Roth.
Oh, Eli Roth.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's what it is. Hold on. Movies. He did like this series of movies.
He did Cabin Fever.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he did Thanksgiving.
Okay, so Thanksgiving.
I saw Thanksgiving.
And there's another one that he did that I heard was good. So this is obviously he was in Inglourious Basterds.
Yes,
That's who he is.
He's the one that Russell Crowe was tagging on Twitter when they were talking about circumcision.
Okay.
And he was tagging him on Twitter because Eli is Jewish. Mm-hmm. And he's saying something like, "Man, I love you, but you know," and this and this and this about like basically the Jewish faith or whatever and culture. And then he's made some sort of comment about how, you know, you got to stop doing like the circumcisions and stuff. And they're good friends. They're actually really good friends. But you know how the media, they tried to act like there was this big huge battle between them, and it was like nothing. I mean, they weren't even. And even Eli Roth was like, "No." I just thought that was funny. But yeah, he was in Glorious Bastards. And he was on the Joe Bob Briggs show one time.
Okay, I haven't seen all that. And somebody asked, "Do you guys mind if I spoil it?" I guess that's the Feast.
No, go ahead. Yeah, because by the time I get around to seeing it, I might forget. So help
favorite
yourself.
John Goodman performance? Flintstones. Where are we at here? No, it's the Big Lebowski. It's the Big Lebowski for sure.
Oh, the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, because they said that. Yeah. Yeah, the Big Lebowski is probably one of my favorite John Goodman.
You said Flintstones because we were talking about Flintstones last night. You want to tell the little story?
So I had read this article that's talking about the Flintstones, and basically what had happened was, I guess Steven Spielberg and John Goodman had worked on something together, or they were talking about something, and he had made this offhanded comment to John Goodman that he wanted to make a Flintstones movie because he loved dinosaurs and whatnot.
Right.
And then out of nowhere.
Was this before Jurassic Park?
Yes, it's way before Jurassic Park. So then I think it's before Jurassic Park, or it was around the same time. But anyway, he basically starts going around blabbing around that he's going to make this Flintstones movie, and John Goodman is going to play Fred Flintstone, and he's telling everybody this. And then finally, John Goodman has this conversation with him, telling him like, "No, I don't want to be in the movie." Like, no, and he's like, "Well, you have to do it now because then everybody's going to think you're an asshole if you back out of it." So he literally was shoehorned and cornered into this movie that he didn't want to do. And then after it was over, they're like, "Oh, it made so much money based on the budget. It was like 50-something million. It earned like 200-something million." And so they're like, "We want to do a sequel." And he's like, "No."
But I thought he did do the sequel.
No, he didn't do a sequel. Some
he did not.
No,
okay.
Some other random
like
movie. There you go. 89. That maybe that's
89. Okay.
Unless he's talking
most
about
likely during the filming of Always. Oh, so was he in Always? John Goodman, was he in Always?
I don't remember
Always.
Always.
Steven Spielberg? That
Oh, because maybe it was where they met then, or
might have
when
been.
they had this conversation. So yeah, it was just like kind of really always.
Yeah, always. He's talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Always was Spielberg. I'm assuming that's what
Yeah,
he meant.
but yeah, he's saying in 1989. But it was just kind of interesting, like to see these random relationships these actors have with these directors, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't want to work with them anymore. Another funny one was I know we're like way off topic, but there's two of them really. One of them was that there was this conversation that Matt Damon had with Tom Cruise
Okay.
about that whole skyscraper scene. Have you heard this one? So Matt Damon
Oh,
was
you
like,
talking about the skyscraper
yeah,
scene in, was it MI
Ghost Protocol.
4?
Ghost Protocol, I think it was. Yeah.
Was the fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So
one
so
still
Matt
makes me
Damon's
nervous.
talking to me. He's like, man, that must have been a wild scene. I've always wanted to do something like that, but just never had the guts balls to do it, whatever. And he's like, so how did you do that? And Tom Cruise is like, well, I've been really wanting to do this stunt for a long, long, long time. And like this movie comes out, we're doing it, and it's like, I want to make sure it's in the movie. He goes, so I hire a safety guy. I'm telling him what I want to do. I want to do this. And the safety guy goes, yeah, you can't do that. And he goes, so what'd you do? He goes, so I got another safety guy. It's like determined to do this thing.
See, I think
Yeah.
he's determined to kill
Yeah,
himself making
exactly.
movies. That's what
And
I
so
think.
another funny one was Tom Hanks talking about how it's so different to work with Clint Eastwood as a director. And he said basically that
Yeah, because he's not a picky fart. He's just
no.
like,
And so he had
it's
he had
good,
he
it's
had
good.
he had an experience with Matt Damon too, where he was
Okay.
filming him doing something, and they said that Clint Eastwood's very systematic. Like he
Yeah.
works 8 hours a day. When 8 hours is the shift is over, he's letting everybody go home, have the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon does this scene, and after the scene's done, he says to
He
Clint,
wanted to do it
he
again,
said,
right?
can I do another try? And he goes, why do you want to waste everyone else's time?
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
so flat. And so the thing with Tom Hanks was, he said it was interesting because with all the directors, they're like, like, all right, we're rolling film, ready, and they got the bullhorn, action, and this is how they would do it.
Yeah.
And he said working with Clint Eastwood,
he
he
was
was
just
like,
like, go.
he'd be like,
Yeah.
go ahead,
Yeah. He's
and
real.
he's like, okay, let's try that again, and go ahead, and whatever. And I guess they said that, according to their conversations, the reason he did it that way is because when his old Western days, when he was doing like spaghetti westerns, the good, and bad, and ugly, they had a lot of that like build up for the, hey, we're rolling, and they scream action.
Right.
It would spook the hell out of the horses, and so he grew to not
Right.
like that kind of, I guess,
Mayhem and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
just
Well,
very
that makes
antiquitous
sense.
way of doing things. So he just had his own way of filming things.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought it was
very,
really, really
he's
funny.
like, yeah, very calm, and he's always been good about bringing films in at under budget or at budget and on time or
yeah,
earlier.
and
Like
think-
he does
and you,
not
and
waste
you would
time.
and you would think that like just cutting it down to 8 hours instead of let's just keep going to finish it. But apparently he's
he
efficient.
doesn't do a shit ton of takes. When he sees something, he knows it's good, and he's not gonna do like a what's his face in The Shining.
Oh my gosh, Kubrick!
Stanley
Yeah,
Kubrick.
yeah, he drove people mad with.
Well, yeah,
his-
he was really mean to what's her face.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. She's in The Shining, right? The girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got an answer here about Feast.
Okay. The movie was about a monster eating people, but they ended it where everyone dies getting stomped by a giant robot.
What?
Okay. Had a Mexican dude singing mariachi
What?
for no reason.
I don't remember
Oh my
seeing this movie,
God,
y'all.
jeez.
Okay.
Is it one to miss? That's
Always is
funny.
a good movie, but so depressing. Yeah. Last movie with Audrey Hepburn. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So Drew is telling us he's planning to do a top 5 personal favorite performances list for Ryan Gosling, John Goodman, and an updated Matt Damon one.
Okay.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling is kind of interesting because for me he's not somebody like always like would drive me to go see a movie or download a movie to watch
Definitely
it.
not.
But sometimes he will surprise me with his performances, And one of them
You haven't
in
seen
particular,
Fall
I
Guy,
haven't
have
seen
you?
Fall Guy yet, and I do want to see that.
He's good in
But
there.
the one that I would like and I'd love to see a sequel to was him and Russell Crowe. They had
Oh,
such
yeah.
such a good dynamic, and they were in not the nice was it Nice Guys? Yeah, the Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys.
Yeah, that was
The nice guys or the good guys? The nice guys.
the Nice Guys.
The nice guys.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, and that's one of those Shane Black kind of little hidden gems.
Arturo and I watched that for the first time. I think earlier this year or sometime last year. We were watching it in preparation for our year discussion. Was that a 2013 film or something?
It's a while
2014.
back. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's been
remember.
several years.
Yeah.
So we were and I had started watching it before and lost interest, and then we went back and watched it, and there were parts that were really funny to me.
Yeah, I mean the whole movie.
Like
Like
Ryan Gosling
right when
screamed so
right
many
when
times in
when
that
he broke
movie.
his hand through the glass and then cut himself horribly out, and next thing you know he's in the back of an ambulance. I was like, man,
He
I
was
love that kind of.
great.
Shane Black has a really good way of like doing something
The
that
editing.
that you least expect a lot of times. Like the same thing with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Like you're expecting, oh, I know what's going to happen. Oh, nope, didn't see that
Did
coming.
he direct Kiss Kiss Bang
Yes,
Bang too?
yeah,
See, I keep
yes,
forgetting that he
yeah.
did that. I don't always latch on to a director's name of a movie.
Okay.
So
Sometimes
I
I do,
completely
and sometimes
forgot.
I forget. But yeah, that was a really really good Shane Black movie. That was really really funny.
Oh, okay. Let's try to get back onto the
Oopsie daisy.
the halfway. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying.
Oh, so what I was getting back to with Matthew McConaughey, that's what I was saying. Is like, at the very end, he kills a detective,
Frailty, yes.
and then they're looking through the video footage as he's walking to the police station, which was my initial thought. How's he going to get away with this? And then when he walks into the police station, they're looking at this video footage, and then it starts getting hazy around his face as he's going through, like, the old school, like, you watch a VHS tape, and there's this weird line, and this weird line just happened to be, like, a bunch of static across as his face is tracking through, and I was like, oh, that's a really good way to do it. Yeah, and so at the very end, like, he pretty much, he gets away with that, and then he kills his brother, because his brother was also technically a demon, too.
Was he really, or was did he just kill him because he was trying to stop them?
No, he was technically supposed to be like a demon as well, and then at the same fact,
okay,
they pin all that. He pins, I think somehow pins it on his brother, like the detective's murder or whatever.
That was a one watch for me, and I remember that I liked it. I remembered that there was a twist that it ended up that the father wasn't crazy. There were really demons, but I forgot a lot of the other stuff.
But man, you watch that movie and the whole time you're like, bro, his dad is cuckoo.
Yeah, this guy's crazy.
Cuckoo as
This
they
guy's
come,
crazy.
killing people in a shack and hiding the bodies. It's
Yeah.
just like one thing after the other.
Shit. No idea. So, you know what I do a lot of times when it comes to stuff like that? If there's a movie that I know I do not want to watch, but I'm curious to know how the story goes, I will Wikipedia it or go to the movie pooper or the movie spoiler. It is called the movie pooper. It is. Have you not heard of this website? Yes.
No.
It was first the movie spoiler, but that goes
No,
into,
but I mean, honestly, it sounds like this is in porn territory.
that goes into way in depth, but the movie pooper just kind of takes it and it's cut to the chase, and it will try to tell you in just maybe sometimes one sentence.
Oh wow!
Sometimes a couple.
Broken down to
like
bare
basically
bones.
the butler did it. You know,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Jesus.
Yeah. But oh hey Del on movies. How are you doing? Okay, so did you think of any others?
So I had a few here. Obviously, obviously the Usual Suspects. I mean, a lot of people have seen that one, but it was
American Psycho.
It was no, The Usual Suspects.
Oh,
the Unusual Suspects.
When you said The Usual Suspects,
Usual Suspects.
I thought you meant like the list.
The Usual Suspects
list of movies.
The Usual Suspects and The Usual Suspects is on this list. But that was a really really good one. That one really really it was the first time in a long time I'd seen a movie that just at the very end I'm like, whoa, wow, that was really really well done. And I think that was Bryan Singer's directorial debut as well.
I believe it was, yes.
Old Boy, both versions of that one.
Both of them, and that was a gross one.
Yeah, it was. That was one of those.
But you know about Old Boy? So I saw the American version first.
Okay.
And then I watched the original, and I'm one of the few that likes the American version more than the original.
Because I hear everyone says it the other way around.
They usually do, and that's because that's typically true. But every once, and then for me, it worked fine. I think part of the reason that I didn't gel as well with the Korean version is because some like acting in Korean movies or in like let's say Japanese movies, sometimes it's like way over the top.
Oh yeah.
With some of the
it's usually with either fear, excitement, or just like those are
they do it
overacted.
They do it a lot in Japan, Japanese movies. There's a name for it. I thought they called it kabuki or something. It was called some name because I was trying to explain like kabuki. I don't like this exaggerated over sort of.
And they do it with animes too. Like it's interesting. You'll watch an anime.
It works okay in anime sometimes.
But what's weird is
so
sometimes they do
action.
it and like the art looks a certain way and it looks really really good, and things are flowing, and then there's this over the top moment of excitement, and then the whole character's eyes and facial structure changes just for like that moment, and it kind of was like, "Ooh, that's kind of jarring."
Yeah, they
out,
do
out
it
of
for
no
comedic
out of
purposes.
nowhere,
That's
like
definitely an anime thing.
It's one style, and then it jumps into this weird kind of kid version of the same character, which looks like a completely different artist
Yeah.
drew it.
It
kinda
is a
weird.
totally different
Yeah.
art style when they do that a lot. They did that a lot in Full Metal Alchemist. Movie pooper sounds like an idea for people that don't want to miss anything in a movie. My dad would always tell me movies he would see and I didn't have time for. If it was good movie, he would give me sound effects about how good it was.
Oh, that movie was.
That reminds me of Tyrone Magnus. He rates his like he gives it a woo
Yeah.
factor or something. Still waiting. No, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's not.
The first one happened, and I was told,
Hey,
"Oh, yeah,
Connie.
you have to watch it." I watch it, and I'm like, "Wow, that's just something else." And the next thing you know, they're like, number 2, there's I can't remember the name of that one. And then there was a third one, the final sequence, and I'm like, did the first one left nothing to be desired?
Yeah. Nope. Oh yeah. Here we go. Kabuki is a classical form of Japanese theater, mixing dramatic performance with traditional dance.
Okay. Because that was like the Kabuki mask.
Is this what I was trying to talk about, though? Is this like what they call it when they overact? It's basically overacting.
Yeah. Okay.
And they do it in anime, and it might work okay in anime, but in live action, it's a little aggravating.
Yeah.
But then I get annoyed at certain sounds. Sounds aggravate me. Like we were talking about an anime movie last night with Sound Booth Theater. We were talking about an anime thing that we watched, and the effort sounds or the emotion sounds that some of the voice actors were making annoyed me. Like the
oh yeah, I don't like that one either.
Oh, I cannot
Yeah,
stand
it's
that.
pretty bad.
It's so aggravating, and they do it for the dumbest stuff too. Old Boy is one of my all-time favorites.
It's the OG
Don't
Old
like
Boy.
the OG, yeah.
Mhm.
Don't like the American version, and I love Spike Lee. I forgot Spike Lee directed
I
that.
did too.
Hello, Sashi. Sashi wasn't with us last night because
He regrets even watching the first.
He
Yeah, the
wasn't-
first one was terrible. I mean, I watched that with my wife.
you
no.
watched it with Maricela.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
the thing was is that her cousin was like, "Oh my God, you have to watch the movie. It's so good."
Oh,
And
she
then-
was probably so
no,
grossed
she's
out.
absolutely like it's like a weird thing. Like she loves that whole series of movies.
Are you kidding me?
Very strange.
Maricela?
No,
Really?
her cousin Vanessa.
Oh, I was like,
yeah. So
I thought
Vanessa's
she
like,
meant Mary.
she's like, "Oh my God, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like reading the back of this thing because we rented it, I think through Redbox or something like that. We rented it somehow, and I literally was like, I did a lot of these like stares to her, like
Why did you sit through it?
we were committed.
No.
We were committed, and at the very end, I mean, I was like, it was kind of like
No.
It reminded me of the whole the line from Apapa.
I don't know what was dumber, that thing or me watching it.
I don't know, it's dumber that thing.
Mom tried to do that when we were watching Turbo Kid. It's like, Mom,
Oh goodness.
this is
Well, I
not
still have yet to see
Teletubbies.
it, so I can't say.
No, Turbo
but,
Kid
yeah,
is okay.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
Teletubbies. For
But that was
goodness
really
sake.
it was really funny because they were like, we finished watching it just so we could talk shit to Vanessa later and be like, dude, what kind of movies are you interested in? Because this is a real
was never-
this is a weird shiner on your judging character.
I was just never. Just the concept of it was enough to turn me off.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say hi again to Sashi. He was not with us last night in the chat, and we noticed his absence. And we were wondering, like if he's okay, or if he was on vacation, or if he was off. Or no, he doesn't go on vacation. He hasn't been on vacation in years, he
Jeez.
said.
Okay.
And he wrote a comment and said that his power had gone out because there was a storm.
So Sashi's a staple.
Yes,
Is a staple of the-
Sashi is a staple, and he
staple of the
is so
stream.
supportive of like the whole like YouTube, like the little, in YouTube, you sort of form these little, I wouldn't say cliques,
Yeah,
but
but
like
little
little
groups.
groups
Yeah,
of
group groups.
friends that
Yeah.
you have, and so there's like Deleted, there's Latino Slant, there's me, there's Troy Pacelli, and Sashi has been like watching my stuff for as long as I can remember, but he's as I've also gotten to know other YouTubers, I see that he's over there
He's
as
over
well,
there, okay.
always in the
Just mingling.
comments, always watching and commenting. Yes, this
Yes.
is hi Connie. This
I'm
is
the young one.
This is the baby brother.
Yeah.
I have another baby brother that I'm going out of town to go help watch over his kids. So that's why we're doing this stream, because I don't have a lot of time with him before I have to leave. And let's see what else. I don't agree with this, but kabuki is a term used by American political. Oh, pundits is an acronym for. Well, okay. Oh, I have heard that term used in political talk. Many people use Japanese words incorrectly, like saying you will get a tsunami of flavor in a taco. Oh, sorry, I missed a lot of comments. Oh yeah, Enigma's so happy Sashi's back. Oh, they're talking amongst themselves.
What did it say? We watched, what was it? We watched a movie with the leads. Oh, today.
Oh yeah, that's right. Was it it was probably the Last Samurai, because I think that was what Deleted was watching today. Sashi's the Asian representation.
Okay. Well, I will say this, like, speaking of the Last Samurai, I mean, that was such a great performance by Ken Watanabe in that movie, if I'm pronouncing his name right.
That's the way I've always pronounced it.
I mean, that's what I think, but man, he really outshined in that movie big time.
It's been a long time since I've seen that film.
That was really good. I rewatched it again, maybe like a year and a half ago or so, because I was going through just like old movies on my Vudu, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that one. Let's go ahead and put that on and watch it again. I mean, it was a really, really good movie.
I saw it once. I really liked it, and for whatever reason, I never watched it. I think Arturo would like it. I remember Tom Cruise was really good in there. But yeah, I mean, it's been forever. There's a lot. Oh, hold on. He's telling us.
Watanabe. Bay instead of an E. I guess so.
Watanabe. Watanabe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Last Samurai, really great time. Deleted, muted himself. Movie had no commentary for. Did he know he was muted, and he was just talking, and wondering why nobody?
Just sign language. Everybody realized what he was thinking based on his hand movements alone.
Oh no!
Oh man.
Well, he usually uses his avatar.
Oh, okay.
So he's not always like live, like with the live camera.
Yeah,
so he's usually
like nothing. Okay.
Oh my goodness, he's probably thinking, "Wow, this is just a dead crowd
dead
tonight."
Crowd. They don't like The Last Samurai.
That's
so
funny.
what was like a somewhat less well known movie that at the end where you just were really like, bam, wow.
Shoot, I didn't come up with a list. I should have.
I remember one, but it obviously was a not well known movie at the time, but it became like a big hit, and it was Saw. Because I remember you were the one telling me about Saw.
Oh,
like,
I had seen it first.
Yeah,
okay.
you told me, you're like, oh my God, Tim, this movie is this wild, blah blah. You'll never guess who the killer is. And so I remember sitting on the couch and I'm watching it with Jared. And so, just being stupid, the movie started.
You had guessed it, of course you did.
But I was just being dumb, and I was like, "Oh, the killer's the guy that's dead on the floor." And then we just kept watching the movie, and the whole time I'm trying to figure out who it might be, and I'm like, "Oh man, I wonder if it's the other guy that's in the room with him. Maybe it's like him who's doing the ploy." And then at the very end, the dude stands up, and I literally was like, I looked over at Jared, I was like, "Oh my God."
I was right.
But I didn't count that because I was being facetious, like 100%. It wasn't something I was committed to, so I don't count that I really predicted it. I count that
we
more.
won't give you that one.
That was a joke. Another one was The Perfect Getaway. That was another one that I really liked. I really liked that one.
Yeah. I know there's some that I've seen, but of course sorry Levi, this is just not a good chair for you, huh? This is not. You're not going to have a good way to sit here on my lap. Keep talking. I'll do some more looking.
Did you ever see Primal Fear?
Yes.
I thought that was a pretty well constructed one too. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Just I remember that the whole time, like, Richard Gere is dealing with Ed Norton, and he's supposed to have these split personalities, and like, what's the? He had like a name for one of them.
I don't remember the name.
He's supposed to have a name for what? It might have been like Ray or Roy or something like that. And Roy was like the serial killer version of himself. And they basically were supposed to become 100% split. So Roy did his thing, and then the other version, let's just call him Ted, did his thing. And Ted didn't know that Roy was a part of his personality. He just was.
Right.
And then at the very end, like, he's having a conversation, and then he makes he makes this comment, something like, "Yeah, it's because Roy, blah blah," and then Richard Gere realized, like, wait a second, you're not even supposed to know Roy exists, and then
Had something to do with something he had done to the girl.
okay, so when he was Roy,
When he made reference to it, and it was something he shouldn't have known.
because it was something that had happened when he was supposed
When
to
he
be
was
Roy.
or whatever, yeah.
Oh, hold on, Roy.
Roy. Put close down there by your waist. Don't change.
It doesn't change the fact he's doing hand quotes.
Family.
That was hilarious. But look, your son.
No. Well, your son's getting away.
When you say it like that, that was such a really, really good banter between the two of them.
Oh yeah, but that's what
I honestly,
in my review.
I'm hoping there's a fifth one now. I know I said that in the car ride home, but I definitely want to see.
Well, if it's as solid as 3 and 4, I'm definitely here for it. Hold on, let's see. Oh yeah, The Skin I Live In. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I haven't seen that one, and I've heard that's a good one. And the one I was talking to you about before we actually started to Shattered. I'm not sure if anybody on the stream has seen Shattered. It was a movie with Tom Berenger and Bob Hoskins. It's something that popped up on just a quick Reddit search. I saw
that a long time ago, but I don't remember.
But yeah, I kind of want to add that. I want to add that to my watch list. There's also The Game with Michael Douglas.
Yes, that came up in a list when I was searching.
That was a really good one, and that was also directed by David Fincher.
Okay.
I saw that one of his earlier movies.
I forgot what the twist was.
I'm not going to tell you then.
Well,
as if you're going to watch it again recently, or soon.
I don't know. Here goes Arturo. The Bad Boys' fourth film, I thought at first the fourth one wasn't going to be as good as the third one. I still think that the third one is better, but this one is super solid. I really did enjoy this movie. I mean, I've seen it now 3 times on the big screen. It's
interesting because I was thinking they were going to kind of go down, but when you look at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes or whatnot, these last 2 were 98% for critics.
The last 2 are up
both
there.
Both 98% when I was.
The first 2 are rotten.
Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing because I really I liked the first one. The first one I thought was a pretty good film.
It was okay
for what it was.
It was all right. For whatever reason, the first 2 just didn't. I didn't mesh as well with the first 2 as I did the last 2. What?
I was just thinking about the comparisons between the second one and the fourth one.
Because some of they paid homage to that.
They did, like it was in the second one that Will Smith did the dive, shooting with his guns.
With his gun like that.
And then this one, Martin Lawrence is doing the dive with the gun.
Yeah.
And then the slow motions thing of stuff happening. Like in the other ones, like the slow motion bullets going through stuff. And but I still think in the second one that was like my favorite bit of cinematography in that movie was when there was bullet holes all through the house and the cameras was going through the bullet holes and cycling around and just kept going around. That was a fun piece of an
cinematography,
of an action scene right there.
And these guys are really creative with the way they do it as well. Like the whole fight scene at the end and the camera was going all inside and just tracking around.
Well, that's another thing that's popping up a lot in movies now is these shots that are done on drones. And there's this guy who I think does a lot of work in these movies. They did a lot of drone shots in that movie Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I never
it was
watched
like
that.
The camera shot would scan down like City Hall in Los Angeles and go into the streets. Those are all drones doing that. And you can get these really, really fast, really quick shots of doing that kind of stuff without having to do cranes and pulleys and stuff.
Right, yeah.
And so you're getting really wild with what they can do in these. And this one guy, he's got like the full-on VR headset, and he's got his controller on here, is hanging on a necklace, and he'll take his drone and fly it through these abandoned buildings upside down, flipping around. And I think I've heard about this. It's gonna be wild when they do like some kind of Spider-Man movie like that. It'd be like
they will eventually.
Yeah. But I think it's like the new wave of doing things. Those fast action tracking shots instead of having the camera on wheels and gliding it across the street. They're just going to do drones because they're so fast too. So they had another video of a Formula One racer and a drone racing, whether it was like a mile or a quarter of a mile, whatever it was. And this drone, they both took off at the same time, and the drone just beats it. It's wild how fast.
Well, I bet because it's in the air.
It's in the air, but it's also very light. There's lightweight, but the fact that this thing is going over 300 and something miles an hour,
that's crazy.
And it's almost instant. Like as soon as it took off, it was like, and it was just gone. And so again, you think about these car race scenes, you can do them faster without having to worry about being slow and it looking like it's slow and have to speed it up later.
Yeah.
You can literally do a 60-mile chase scene with no fear that this person's going to camera like this and going to fall off. You got the drone, and if the drone track crashes, there was $1,000.
Yeah.
And you just move on.
Something I keep thinking about when I see a shot like that, like what we saw today in the Bad Boys movie, is how everybody, obviously, it's all choreographed, how everybody has to be perfect
for that
when they're doing their, and if they're not, they got to go back and they got to do it again. I don't know. I appreciate it.
The reset of everything, put all the glass
Yep.
back, put everything back.
Oh my gosh, right?
So tedious.
Okay, what other movies? What other movies with surprise ending?
You said you didn't like 7. I liked 7.
I didn't. I hated the ending of it.
Well, the ending was obviously terrible, but it was just such a good way to craft it together. One thing that I found interesting, because we were discussing this in my film class, and there is a scene where Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt are in his apartment, and they're going through a room, and they grab all those, remember those old steno books? The black and white splotchy notebooks?
Oh, like the composition books.
Yeah. Were they steno books or something? Or they composition?
I call them composition
books. Okay, well, they were those ones that had like the multicolored black and white, spatter on them. And they, Morgan Freeman opens the first book, and there's like the page is filled with just this madman's rantings. Next page, rantings. And there's literally like 1,000 of these books just sitting there. And apparently, everyone was filled to the brim with just nonsense writing of just crazy talk.
Yeah.
But they only showed like a couple.
Just a few, but they
just a
had
few,
them
but
all.
they had them all there, and they were all filled. I was like, good gracious,
yeah,
how much
that's
time
a lot.
that
That's attention to detail.
Yeah, and it was only this, like 20 or 30-second shot, but yeah, they did all that just for that. Blew my mind.
I've heard of things like that in films. So I'm looking at films with unpredictable and surprise twist endings.
Mm-hmm.
What? I don't feel like Aeon Flux have a surprise twist ending? The Lazarus Effect? Sorry, I didn't write any of these. I didn't make a list. Tim made a list.
Somewhat.
He was prepared. Oh, The Village.
Oh, The Village. Yeah, that was a good one. Well, you got that M. Night Shyamalan ding dong.
Shyamalan. Oh my gosh, I was not a fan of his daughter's movie. Oh.
I never saw Old.
I saw Old.
So I don't know if there was a twist, but there was another movie he did. Was in with Dave
Knock
Bautista?
at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Did you see Knock at the Cabin?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Matt saw it when he was here. I actually liked Knock at the Cabin.
I was talking to Anthony about it. It was my nephew, and he was talking about the premise. And the premise is that they go to this place and they have to sacrifice one of them to like save.
So yeah, there's like it's a gay family, 2 fathers and a little girl they adopted.
Okay.
And the reason that ties in is because they feel like these people are there to harass them because they're gay. That's what they think, because that's brought up a couple times. So Dave Bautista, Ron Weasley.
Okay.
And a couple other people.
Ron Weasley. Sorry.
Rupert Grint.
Yeah,
that's his
Rupert,
name.
You're Ron.
You're Ron. He's Ron. They show up. They just show up at the cabin, and they basically are saying, "Look, we've seen the end of the world, and one of you has to you have to sacrifice one of you." Has to be sacrificed.
But they couldn't invite like the grandma who's 98 years old. Be like,
no, because it was only that there was no other family members, just them at the cabin.
But they couldn't be like, oh, I got a grandma who's on her death's door. Let me call her up and have her get here, and then we'll sacrifice her instead.
No, it had to be one of them.
Okay.
And if you don't, the world is going to completely end.
Everyone.
Yeah,
does.
Because like the apocalypse is coming, and we've seen these visions, and they're seeing stuff on the news, and the one of the guys is 1,000% a skeptic. He's like they're faking it, and the other guy, he kind of was in the beginning, but then he starts to wonder. And so that's the premise. Oh, and if they don't make and like at the end they have a certain amount of time.
That's what he was saying.
If you don't do it within this amount of time, then
we have to kill one of you.
No. So you don't know what they had to do. I feel like I shouldn't tell you too much.
Well, I thought that was what it was. Basically, you either have to pick somebody to die, or they kill all of them, or okay.
That's not how it goes. And so the situation, I personally liked it. It had mixed reviews. Like well, I haven't looked at the Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't think it got the most stellar reviews. But I thought it was really interesting. It was actually based on a book, and there was no like
Change.
there was no like, because at first I was like, well, I wonder, did they swap? Because you know how they swap. Did
Yeah.
they do like sexuality swap? Was it a man and a woman, husband and wife? No, it wasn't. That was what the book was like. Because that, like I said, that does tie into it. They think you're just persecuting us because we're
Yeah.
gay or whatever. And Dave Bautista, oh, his acting in there, he was really
He's
good.
actually, out of a lot
He was
of,
really
a lot of
good.
these WWE, WWF actors, or actors
good.
from WWF.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
think he's probably one of the better ones that have been out there. Obviously, Dwayne Johnson plays Dwayne Johnson all the time.
I'm not-
Dave Bautista actually plays different characters.
He
was
actually
really
has
good.
depth
He's really
and
really good,
range.
even in Blade Runner 2049.
2049.
Whatever it is.
I think it's 2049.
I don't know. I don't want to make a bet.
Oh,
on
the
it.
ending was kind of a letdown. Yeah, I mean, it was, I didn't hate Old, but I definitely liked Knock at the Cabin much more. Old is not my favorite Shyamalan movie. My favorite Shyamalan movie is Signs.
Yeah, mine was Unbreakable, and
Someone
he's
mentioned
it. Yeah, I really like that because it was a movie that
Unbreakable,
starts
yeah,
out
it
and
does
then it
have
turns out to be something completely different.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
You're thinking it's going to be one type of movie, and when it's all over and done, you're like, oh my god, it's a superhero origin story
Yeah,
movie. That's kind of
yeah.
an interesting way
Did
to put it.
So, did you watch Glass?
I did watch Glass, and I watched Split too.
What did you think? No, did you see? Yeah, because Split came
So
after
first, yeah.
Unbreakable. And it was at the end of Split is when you'd find out that they're tied in together. And
Yes.
that was kind of a twisty.
Yeah, a little bit of a twist
thing.
there. Yeah, the thing I didn't like about Glass was kind of the cheap and lame way that Bruce Willis bites the dust. I was like, wait a second, you gonna kill this guy in a mud puddle?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like- I was
That
like-
was a bit of a. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I didn't
Yeah.
love it either.
No, I was hoping if he was gonna die, it should have been a little bit more realistic
Flashy?
than just like, oh, I'm just
Drowning in a mud puddle.
I'm gonna put my weight on his back and hold him down, and that was it. But
Yeah.
the other thing was kind of interesting about the movie was the tattoo of the people, the group that was trying to get them. I think
I
we
even
talked about
forgot
it.
what the tattoo
The
looked
tattoo
like.
was like, I think it was a 3-leaf clover.
I don't
I think it was
remember.
I think
It's
it,
been
I
so
think,
long since
I think it was a
saw
3-leaf clover, and I'm not sure if it's 100% right or not. But somebody had broken down and said that was meant to be that these people were normal because 3-leaf clovers are just common.
Right.
And they wanted to take out the superheroes, which would be considered like a 4-leaf clover or something
Right,
special.
right.
And so I thought it was
okay.
kind of a neat representation of this
Was it-
group of people.
That Alice Braga who played in there, she played in the English version of
don't
Queen
know
of the
who-
South.
Oh, yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know who Alice Braga is, but then, yeah.
You know who
I know-
her
I know-
aunt is.
I know her as Teresa.
You know who her aunt is?
No.
Sonia. I think her name is Sonia Braga. Did you ever see Rookie with Clint Eastwood?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's the chick who.
Who raped Clint Eastwood?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
don't e-
never
I-
forgot that scene. That
I
was
bar-
a little
I-
traumatizing for me.
Yeah, I remember seeing it pretty young, too, and I was like, what the
I
hell is
know.
happening?
I know.
Jesus.
You hate Signs? Oh, I'm sorry. You hate Signs. I love it. It's my favorite. My favorite of his. Most well-known twist in movies. Well, yeah, we did mention that for sure. We did
We were
bring
like,
that
let's
up.
not do the common ones that
We
everyone
were
knows.
trying to-
Like The Sixth Sense. Everyone knows.
Okay,
is dead.
Coherence. Have you seen Coherence?
I have not seen Coherence.
Okay, there is an interesting twist-ish in that. Some of these I have not even seen, so I don't know what to say about them.
Upgrade had a good twist,
I hated that.
but it was such an interesting twist. And I think the other one we were talking about was also Fallen, which you're doing.
Yes.
Doing your review on soon.
I'm
really,
rewatching
really
that for the
like
first
movie.
time in a couple decades,
Couple
at least.
decades.
Yeah, because it came out in the
Yeah.
90s,
That's right.
and I
The
saw it
only
not
thing,
long
the only
after
thing
it
you
came
may
out.
you may notice when you're watching it is that, the camera when it's filmed through the eyes of the demon, it looks pretty campy,
Okay.
pretty lame because it changes like the filter. It looks strange. It's like floating around, looks hazy,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, ugh, kind of gives you this weird like not vertigo, but it's just not shot
Okay.
well. I wish they could do that like in a different way, rather than it
Go
look,
back and, like, digitally fix it
let's
up?
make it not look this weird, wonky, hazy look. I can't remember what it looks like now because it's been a while for me. At least 1 decade since I've seen it, but Yeah, that movie threw me for a loop because of the very beginning. You got Denzel talking, and it's like, okay, 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 and then on the end, But it made sense as we were saying that
Right.
how is this man who's only lived 40 years of his life supposed to outsmart this demon who's been around for millennia?
Eons.
Yeah, that was I don't
It
know. That was-
still pissed me off.
I'm sure no one likes
I
to watch
want the
Denzel
good guy
die.
to. I know, and
No one likes-
like I don't want Denzel to die, and I don't like to see him playing a baddie.
He did such a good job in Training
He was
Day.
really good in Training Day. I know. And I mentioned to Ahmed, oh man, we should have because they picked a time travel one. I said, wow, we should have done Deja Vu. And he
That's a good
explained
one.
why they decided not to do Deja Vu or why they picked the one that they did. So I have not seen that one. What's the other one?
I rewatched Deja Vu just a couple weeks ago too.
I love that movie.
That's a really good movie. I go back to that one constantly. It's one of my favorite Denzel movies.
Yeah, I think it's
Man on Fire.
my
Is probably,
absolute Man on Fire is
probably
really
my
good.
favorite one.
That's
But once
really
again,
good.
he dies in that one too.
I know.
so-
I hate that. Don't like, but it is good. But hold on, I'm trying to look. Ahmed was telling me, and Enigma wrote me as well. Apparently, it was his suggestions that they went by for. Okay, so Ahmed said we were trying to restrict it to time travel into your previous self rather than meeting your previous self, like a do-over.
Okay.
Okay.
So like not Back to the Future.
I guess. What was it he said? I was trying to find it's Fallen, About Time. What was the other one? Shoot, I don't remember.
Me
Because
neither.
I know I haven't seen
Somebody
About
sent
Time.
me a message. When we
Yeah,
were,
Enigma sent me a message. Hold on. And Ahmed sent me a message explaining what the different stories we were promoting. Oh, The Last Starfighter.
Oh
okay.
yeah, because it was.
So
that's right.
I've seen Fallen in The Last Starfighter, but I've forgotten a lot of details. So it'll be like
Yeah,
watching
watch
it
them all over
new. It would just like watching Turbo Kid was like watching it all over again.
And
that
what was
was
the,
a
what was the
fun
version? What was the reason to do The Last Starfighters? They want something from the '80s, a Take Back '80s movie.
No, it was Oh, I got to look up Ahmed's message because he explained them all to me.
That's a movie that deserves to be
Redone.
redone, like
I think
with updated.
that was one of the ones Simon picked when we did that theme
like-
about
okay, about
movies that
redoing
need to
movies,
be
yeah.
redone. Okay, so Fallen is for Reborn Assassin, About Time is for Summoner Awakens, and The Last Starfighter is for the other guys.
Okay.
Ahmed Enigma says Ahmed was straining his brain to remember About Time. I mentioned Fallen when we were looking for Possession.
About Time is the love story, right?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so. With
I-
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, I watched that with
Last
Monty
Starfighter
Sell.
was one of my dad's
That was actually real. It was well done. It was also, it's like
Sad?
cute and sad in a point, because do you know the premise of the movie?
I don't remember it.
So the premise of the movie is that the main character, which I don't remember his name or even the actor who plays him, but apparently through their family, they each have the ability to travel back in time.
Okay.
And
Don't tell me too much.
They can go back to any point in time in their life they want to go to and redo it, in a sense. They just have to think real hard and then like open a door and then go through it or something like that, or stand in a
Okay.
room by yourself, open a door. And the only thing is that if they do go back and something big happens, they can't go back now beyond that one point.
It's like a time marker.
It's
It's
basically
like a marker.
Yeah. So like for example,
It's like a reset point.
yeah. So let's say for example, let's say I went through the door and then I just tried to change something, and then because I changed something, you met somebody, and then you had a baby,
Okay.
right? Well, now a new life has been made. I can't erase that new line.
Okay.
So now I can no longer go past the point where you just had your child. So now I can, and if I was going back before and you were like 27 and then you had a kid and I went back and your kid was born when you were 28, now I can't go past you being 28. So I can only travel back to here now.
Okay, so
because
there's
anything I
limits.
went back through, like I could be erasing stuff that
Okay.
was happening. But let's say I went back in time because you had been doing heroin and I got you to get off of heroin, then I can still go back again and get you back on heroin.
You turd.
This is a joke. I liked you better when you was on heroin.
Okay, we have not mentioned Identity, but that was one that came
Yeah.
up when I did a search earlier this evening. I found out the twist and decided I was not interested to watch it when I found out.
It was still well done. It wasn't bad. It was done well.
Oh, hold on.
I liked it. That was actually I was in
Rachel
I
McAdams.
was
Yeah,
in my
that's right.
tech school days when I watched Identity.
Identity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't miss. I mean, we just been talking. Sort of. We've been going back and forth between talking about other stuff and trying to get back to the topic.
And filling in your list that you didn't make.
Which I know I didn't make a list. Because the ones that I found were the big name ones. Because I was trying to... I know there's some that I have seen that are obscure, but they're not coming to me right now. And maybe they didn't have super huge groundbreaking twists, but just enough.
Yeah, like the big groundbreaking twist was like kind of like what they were saying about Empire Strikes Back. Everybody back in the day, it was a big one. Planet of the Apes. Oh my God, it was the Earth the whole time. Like
right, yeah.
It was a big deal, you know.
Arrival does have a great twist.
Yeah, Arrival had a good twist.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I have to bring in the anime series Erased. I have not heard of that series. Okay. Rachel also knows how to do multiverse incursions, if you know what I mean.
Memento we were talking about for a moment.
Yes.
That was before the stream. That was another one I really, really enjoyed. Moon.
Oh yeah, Moon.
That was good. I
wow,
like that
it's
one.
been forever since I
Been a
saw
long time.
that one.
I might need to rewatch that one again too. And then of course I had mentioned American Psycho, which is such a
that's a little bit so they say that's kind of actually that's a bit open-ended.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard so the way I think you're supposed to initially take it is that he really wasn't doing all these killings. It was in his mind. But then I can't remember if it was the author or the director was saying basically, yes, he did. It's just the 80s was such a time where people just didn't pay attention and didn't care, so he got away with it.
The director say that, or because
it
was a book?
Someone said there was a book. Yeah,
and maybe it's one over the other. Like in the book, maybe that's how it was, but maybe in the movie, their interpretation was a little different. Like they switched it up. But it's such a funny that scene from the little round table discussion about the business cards has always been so hilarious.
Oh, when they were when he was so mad about the other guy's cards.
Yeah, and he's like, check this out. And he shows them like, the raised lettering, colored pale nimbus. And they're like, ooh, very nice. And he's like, let's see Paul Allen's card. And then he's holding it.
Yeah. I remember when that movie came out, and I did not see that movie, but I remember because I paid attention to the title and also that Reese Witherspoon was in it.
Okay.
And I was never interested to watch it. I actually didn't watch it until after I had seen Christian in Equilibrium and then Batman. And then I'm like, oh, I like Christian Bale. And so then I was like, let me watch American Psycho. I am not as in love with that movie as a lot of people are because, maybe one of the big giveaways was there's that scene where he chases the woman with the chainsaw and then drops it. And it just happens to... Well,
he was tracing her. She was going down. He was
but it's like, come on, the chances. I'm like, come on, and he's running down the hallway, and nobody hears this maniac running down the hallway with the chainsaw. I'm
welcome
like,
welcome to Los Angeles.
It was
in
New
80s.
York. Was it New York or Los Angeles? I thought it was
two.
New York.
One
anyway,
of the two.
It was just.
He was giving her some lead, in there.
I was like, still, come on. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, really. I thought you were feeling better.
It's a time travel murder mystery, and it's an anime.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
That's what they're saying.
I'm gonna ask them if they've seen that.
Which one? Oh,
Erased.
But it's an anime, huh?
Yeah, because they Arturo really watched anime.
Time travel murder mystery.
I like that. Sounds like something I would like.
What's up, buddy?
He's just like, this is not a comfortable position to be in. This is not his normal chair. He doesn't understand why he can't,
get
fully
comfy.
relax. Okay. Aurelia says she has seen Erased.
Okay, so scale of 1 to 10, what did she say?
Let me ask her. Arturo has not seen it, but he's been wanting to watch it. Aurelia, if you're still watching it, scale of 1 to 10. I'm messaging you on Skype, too. Okay. Aurelia says she watched it years ago. She told me that. Putin's Cat says, I still think Everything Everywhere All at Once is the best movie in the last 10 to 20 years. So I tend to go back to the good stuff that I know works. I enjoyed that, but I was not super crazy, and I feel like it was highly overrated, and I also felt like it was a bandwagon film at the Oscars.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Definitely.
I mean, the is it being okay? It was some of it was just kind of ridiculous.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, the hot dog finger place that was super dumb. It made no sense. A lot of stuff was just kind of weird. I get it, like there's this infinite realities and whatnot, but I mean, why? Whoops, sorry. Why include that if you don't have to? But it was nice. The big takeaway for me was just, it was nice seeing Short Round come back.
Yep, yeah, he was awesome in there. I loved him.
His whole role there was really amazing.
Aurelia said 7.5 for a race, and she says kind of sad, not gonna lie.
Huh.
Okay, I'm interested. Is it on Crunchyroll, Arturo? Let's see. I have not seen the pirate movie.
Me neither.
Enigma says, I had a friend that would quote American Psycho on a regular. I was not thrilled with him as a college apartment mate.
Well, God, yeah.
For sure. I bet. I
you
bet.
Come home and there's plastic all over the couch. Have a seat.
Yes, I remember when Empire of the Sun came out. I never saw it, but I remember when it came out, because it was a Steven Spielberg movie, so I just remember it. But I was not really interested to watch it. And then later I did watch it. I did watch it afterwards, after I, paid attention to Christian Bale and his acting. I went back and watched it. It was good. I'm not. It's kind of depressing and sad.
It's kind of like Shutter Island. It had a really good twist, but it was what?
So Javier says, I have seen a race, but kind of wished I didn't see it. Refused to talk about it. All right, now I'm curious.
Jesus.
Okay.
Who's is it? Sashi telling us to watch this?
Okay, now I want to know,
Yeah, exactly.
Javier. If you're watching, Javier, I'm messaging you on Skype. I want to know why. What is it about it that makes you not want to talk about it? Okay, well.
So what I was saying was like the same thing with like having like one of those twist endings that makes you not want to watch the film again. With Shutter Island was one of those.
Oh yeah.
The twist ending on that was like, oof, what a downer.
Right.
It was a brutal one. And then there was Gone Girl was another one that had like ugh.
Okay.
I know everyone loved that movie, but I was like, man, she's terrible.
Well, see, here's the thing. That's the same. The lady who wrote Gone Girl, because it was a book, is the same one who wrote Sharp Objects.
Gillian Flynn. She makes characters that you just
don't
like. I don't like them.
When I listened to Sharp Objects, I absolutely hated it because I hated the characters. I hated the main character. She was annoying. And so then when I saw she had written another book called Gone Girl, I was like, well, I'm not interested to read it. And then they made it into a movie, and I was like, well, I know I'm not going to like it, but let me see what was the story. So I read the movie pooper or the movie spoiler, whatever.
The pooper. Here we go with the movie pooper again.
I was like, I'm so glad I did not, because I know I would hate it. So I have decided I don't like her stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not going to read her stuff anymore.
She did something. I thought they even made a show.
They did make a show about
Sharp Objects.
Sharp Objects, yes, with Amy Adams, yes. And I did not watch it.
Did you ever watch Chinatown?
I did.
That one's supposed to have some sort of twist ending.
Once
as well.
a long time ago, and I don't remember. I feel like the twist ending had something to do with incest.
Yes, it was.
So did Lone Star.
Never saw Lone Star, but yeah, the other one was it basically finds out that like in Chinatown, because I'd never watched it, but I did see something like a long time ago about it where they were talking about it, and it had something to do with the girl he's working for or with. They're looking for a missing girl who's
I don't remember
who's
the
thought to be her
premise.
daughter, and it is her daughter, but it's also her sister because the dad had like basically something like that.
We trust Sashi.
Huh?
Oh, really? It's so Arturo's saying, okay, American Psycho is New York. Okay.
Okay.
Arturo says it is on Crunchyroll. I do not like subtitled. The pirate movie, 1982, with Christy McNichol and Christopher Atkins, is kind of an 80s spoof of the Pirates of Penzance. Penzance. I have not seen that. Chinatown. She's my sister. She's my daughter. She's my sister.
What is it? Make up your mind.
Levi, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. This is not comfy
So yeah,
for you,
stay
little boy.
Never saw The Descent. So I don't know what that one is. Identity's there. Oh, girl.
The Departed.
Yeah,
Okay, someone mentioned that.
We covered it. Never saw Atonement.
I didn't either. Citizen Kane.
Psycho.
Oh,
yeah,
Psycho.
That was a but that was a big one.
That's a big one, but that's
Yeah.
definitely
That
very
was-
twisty.
The Friday the 13th, that was another one.
Right. Levi.
Empire Strikes Back.
Usual Suspects. Yeah, a lot of the big ones. Seven. Do you know Arturo, by the time he got around to watching The Sixth Sense, he had never heard the twist. He never knew
how did they keep
what
that
the
one?
twist was.
How did they keep that one quiet
Because
for
he
so
might
long?
have like heard
Yeah.
references to it, but didn't know, like hadn't
100%
pieced
what was
anything
going on.
together. So it was really. I know he's not comfortable. Aurelia, do you want to come get him? He's not comfortable because, so we have two just folding chairs, and he came and got in my lap before the live stream and turned around and tried to scooch over here to the right, which is where he usually sits, and he fell right down on the floor because there's no arm to keep him in place. So no, he's not very happy.
No, this was the Cabin in the Woods was kind of an
The
interesting.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it was funny.
That thing turned into a comedy. Teresa and I watched it, and we were
started out
just, it
legit,
was
and then out of nowhere
it got
so
so
dumb.
ridiculous, and I was like, are you kidding me? This is so stupid. So I'm not actually a huge fan. Last Christmas?
I don't know. I never saw it.
Last Night in Soho, definitely. That had a twist.
So this one's saying the kind stranger died last Christmas. Actually, the ghost of the man whose heart she will always have. Oh, she got a heart transplant. It turns out, I guess so.
Okay.
She's saved by a heart transplant.
Oh, okay.
So this is the guy talking to her.
I really like Last Night in
it was a
Soho.
good
That
one.
was an excellent film. If you guys haven't seen it,
I had a feeling.
I still maintain that Shutter Island, he was cured.
Is that why they took him back to his cell? I can't remember. They took him back to his cell, right?
I don't remember. I never
Yeah.
watched that all the way through. I just knew what the ending was.
Yeah.
The Invitation. Oh, that one was a good one. Have you seen
I have
that?
not seen that one.
That one was like a slow burn. The Invitation. What year was it? 2017.
Yes.
Okay, no,
2015.
2015. So it's a husband and wife. I think they're husband and wife. They get invited to a dinner party of the husband's like previous wife,
Okay.
like his ex, and they had something terrible had happened in their past. That's why their marriage dissolved. Like maybe they lost a child or something. I can't remember. But they're still on generally friendly
Talking
terms.
basis.
But it's like a dinner party, and there's a bunch of people that show up, and it's very dialogue heavy because that's really the focus of his dialogue and the interaction between the characters. And then as the evening progresses, he starts to notice there's some strange stuff is happening, and then something happens to someone at the dinner table, I think, and then he starts to piece together what's really going on. And it was a quiet little,
I'll have to check that one
very well done. Like you have to
out.
pay attention
to what's going on.
because there's a lot of talking, and then like little silent sort of subtle things that he noticed. Kind of like with Coherence is very similar.
Okay.
Coherence is it's like basically they're all in this place, and there's some sort of event that's getting ready to take place or that takes place, and it has something to do with almost like multiverses, like where there's like this some weird mixture of other planes happen. Not plane is an airplane,
Yeah,
but
but
like planes of existence. Yeah, I can't even hardly explain it, but I thought it was. I thought it was pretty good. No, we're just we're just talking. So doesn't really matter the basic. I don't.
Oh
think
yeah. I saw that one. One of the funny things about that movie that will always stick with me, it was more of a really really crappy editing error. Is John Travolta's in the car with this girl, and she's driving, and he's talking to her, and she's got her hands on the steering wheel, and the windshield wipers are going because it's in the rain or something like that, and she goes to turn the wheel. She's making a turn, and her hands just slide across the wheel like this, but the wheel doesn't move.
Oh, jeez.
And then her hands slide back. And I was like, as I was watching that in the theater, because it was another movie that came out when I was in tech school.
Sorry.
And there was really not much to do while we were in tech school. So that's why I was like, go
Yeah.
to the theater. And so as I'm watching that scene, I just couldn't get that out of my head. And it's just stuck with me.
It just snap you right out
I
of
was
the
like,
moment.
oh my gosh, it's terrible.
The Gift. Have you seen The Gift? Now, not the one with, what's her face?
This is the one with the guy from Warrior, right? Edgerton?
Yes.
Edgerton? I have not seen The Gift. This is the one with, wait, not Jason Bateman.
Yes.
Okay. He drops off something? I haven't seen it. Haven't
Okay.
seen that one yet. Okay.
That one was decent, for
Okay.
sure. I think Edgerton directed that one as well.
Really?
He's actually a director, too.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. And then there
I'm
was...
looking forward to when if they haven't already, they probably finished airing up all the episodes for the show that he has on Apple.
Oh, what is that show?
It's
Oh,
the
was
Blake-
that with Jennifer Connelly?
I
Dark
think so.
Matter?
Yeah, Dark Matter. It's a
I've
book
been wanting
by
to
Blake
watch
Crouch.
that.
Blake Crouch also did the.
Did you read the book?
The Wayward Pines. I have the book. Haven't read it. It's on
Okay.
my backlog of another
Okay.
60 books I need to get to.
I thought I never thought it was a comedy until
did?
as we
Yeah.
get towards the end and all this crap is happening, and it's just like, what? Then at that point, all the murder and mayhem gets hilarious.
This-
Kind of like with Turbo Kid. Turbo Kid was one of those things where there's all this savagery going on, but it's comedic.
Okay.
It becomes comedic because like the way people die in Turbo Kid, and then bodies are being split in half and like flying up in the air and landing down on top of
Did
another.
you mention about the cost of the movie?
Yeah, because we looked
No,
it
I
up
didn't know if you
during the
mentioned it on
stream.
stream. Okay, yeah, it was like
$60,000.
Good,
I'm
that's
so
crazy.
I'm still so gobsmacked and impressed by how cheaply that movie was made. Like as far as cost,
Yeah.
because it doesn't look like a. I mean, you can tell it's not like a big, huge hype.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
still,
it looked better than a lot of
you would think
big
still,
budget
I mean,
films
I know
look
Michael
nowadays.
Ironsides doesn't do much, like movie wise anymore. But I mean, he would still award some kind of, monetary salary for doing the job.
I know you, unless he did it for free.
And I really loved his. I don't know if he's doing it on the new upcoming remake for Splinter Cell, but his voice is like Sam Fisher for the main character.
I knew he
on that.
worked on Splinter Cell.
Yeah, man, his voice was
He has a very distinctive
very
voice.
perfect for that character.
I've liked him since V.
I liked him since Starship Troopers.
Well, that was after V. Sashi says, "I see dead people, two people who are dead inside, especially after watching Disney Star Wars stuff." It is so true. Oh my gosh, people. So this is about the latest the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, yeah.
Yes. Oh Lord.
Everybody's making fun of it because they were like,
Yeah,
saying-
because it's
they're
terrible.
Like, oh, how to take out a Jedi Master with some random, like butter knife instead of a lightsaber. I'm still, if I'm excited for anything Star Wars coming up, it's definitely season 2 of
Andor.
Andor.
When is it really happening?
I don't know.
I haven't heard any
supposed to be
updates
next
about.
year, or is it this year? Because
I thought it was supposed to be 2025.
It's a 2-year hiatus, I think, between the 2 seasons, or 2.5 years.
Well,
But
it's
yeah,
it's taken
I'm ready.
it's
I'm
taken
ready for that
forever.
one. That one's really, really good. Very well done.
Sin just loves Boy Kills World. I liked Boy Kills World. There was some stuff at the end that I didn't like because it bothered me because it was like an issue in the writing for me. But
Okay.
it was fun. It was funny because have you seen the commercials for Boy Kills World?
No, who's in it? I'm gonna stop asking you questions you don't know the answer to.
Pennywise.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know you're talking about.
I just keep Alexander
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Alexander, and so his character can't talk. So what you hear as his voice is like basically his thoughts, okay, but done in the voice of a video game, like announcer.
Like a very robotic version, or just like
No,
a very
like
over the top, like let's go action.
It's just the way he talks. It's like a video game voice, and so that's how he talks in the film. You hear his thought processes through this
So
voice.
give me an example.
That
What is this video game voice? Oh, go ahead. Let's hear it.
It's like no, I don't remember.
No, come on.
I can't do it. No,
Dude,
I can't perform.
She's so
Kim.
good at. Dude, she
I'm
can
not
do
a performer.
impersonations.
No, I
You should
can't.
hear Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's so good.
Hey,
it.
that's like the best.
Give the people the ear. Democratic.
It's like I think the video game. It was because when he was a kid, there was this video game he played with his sister, and it was like those fighter type games, like a Street Fighter
Okay.
game, and whatever the voices and so since when he lost his ability to talk, that was the voice he latched onto, like in his head.
In his head, okay.
Yeah, so that's how you hear his thoughts. And it doesn't match him at
Yeah.
all, which is what makes it kind of funny.
Okay.
It was interesting. It was
But you're so down for the new Crow.
Not really. I'm gonna watch it. I went to go see the
Tell me if
original.
you're pleasantly surprised. Tell me if you're
Oh, I
pleasantly
will.
surprised.
But I don't think I'm gonna
that
be.
movie, along with the soundtrack, was something that really stuck with me.
I saw it. I saw the original on the big screen for the first time. Not for the first time watching it, but for the
Right,
first time on the big screen.
only.
And it was quite cinematic in some parts.
Yeah, it was. It was a well done movie.
It just made me sad
And of
the
course,
whole
it
time
had
I was
the guys talk like
with a
this,
voice.
we're gonna go out there. We're gonna burn this town down. That's because I can say so.
Oh yeah, the voice guy from Archer. Yeah, that's the guy who did the voice in Boy Kills World.
Okay, yeah. Oh my God, that guy's hilarious. He does a lot of stuff.
Archer,
Yeah.
the Adult Swim TV show. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the actor's voice.
I can't remember
yeah.
that guy's name now off the top of my head.
So that one was one where they had some very bloody, hilarious kills.
Okay.
Like it in the vein of Turbo Kid
Yeah.
almost.
Okay.
But it's not my favorite of the year. It was one of the Regal mystery movies,
Okay.
and enjoyed it,
Some guy.
but didn't super. He's trying to get comfy. Poor Levi. He's like, why can't I sit like normal?
Demonized.
Oh, poor little boy. Poor little blind boy. Oh. You what? Batman, you.
You son of a bit. I don't know if he's trying to talk like Ice-T or not.
Oh, I don't know.
Batman, you son of a bit.
You mentioned
I'm
that.
Ice-T.
Actually working on an episode about the downfall of Star Wars. Yeah, now would be the best time to have that. Yeah, that's true, because it's just pathetic.
Brutal.
It's I got the offer to screen the first 4 episodes, and I decided I was not interested at all.
I think I remember seeing that. You did a hard pass on it.
Yeah, I definitely did, because I knew I wouldn't. I could just tell I was not going to like it. And as I've mentioned before, I don't hate watch. You know, it's like a people.
Some
will
people
watch...
some people do it just so they could talk about it. Like
yeah, because
like
well,
Ben
they know
Shapiro.
they know it's going to get clicks
that was
for their
another
channel.
Thing. Like, you know, Ben Shapiro does this whole thing where he like hate watches Barbie, and I'm like, first of all, bro, that movie wasn't for you at all.
I definitely didn't want to watch Barbie. Well, the movie's for women, but I was not interested in it because
movie's really for 10-year-old girls.
It's. Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
Uh-oh. He's right into the
Sorry,
mic.
right in the microphone. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, Ben Shapiro, I don't really have... I don't put much value in his take on certain films.
And his voice is so annoying.
Yeah,
as well.
I can't.
He talks like...
I can't with him. I can't. That was not an invitation to talk. Do you have any others?
I think it was all the. I just made like a somewhat short list of movies that were, for the most part, not as common. Again, I do want to get back and maybe watch Shattered. I want to check that out because apparently there's a lot of good things about Shattered.
Oh, you've been erasing them as you talked about them.
Yeah, that's how I do my list. That's how I do my shopping list. We've covered all of them. Everything that was on there was covered.
Let's see. Enigma says, what is funny is that Ryan Gosling stole the show in the Barbie movie, and it was not supposed to be so much about Ken.
But he was, what was it? Bro Ken? That was a dumb line.
Yeah, I'm glad I passed on that one.
So these are pretty much... I never watched the others, but I heard that I had...
Do you know what the twist was?
I do, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Okay. All the typical ones, all the big name ones.
All the big ones are here. Saw, Seven, Atonement, Get Out. Get Out was...
That's not really...
The only
that's
twist
not
was
really
that
twisty.
Everyone was...
There's not like a big twist at the end.
No, I guess that because you kind of knew what was
Because by
going
then
on
you
pretty
already
early.
knew. Gone Baby Gone. Gone
Wait,
Baby Gone.
No, well, I guess the twist was that because they were trying to save the baby.
They were trying to save the baby. That's why the baby was kidnapped. And then he goes and puts her right back into the terrible situation.
Yeah, that was brutal. I only saw that once, and it was one of those where I just didn't want to watch again. I have a few that are like that. I think I've talked to you about.
There's some films that are one watch for me only.
The Revenant always comes to mind when they're like, oh, it was a great movie. Man.
Yeah, that was a 0 watch for me.
Yeah.
Oh, he coming to collect. He is just like, he cannot get comfortable to save his life. Thank you very much. He's been doing circles, trying to settle. It's not happening. There was a massive oh, please, don't even.
Zardoz. What?
Yeah.
The massive twist is what? Sin enjoyed it?
Oh my gosh, I hated that movie. It took me so many days to watch. I was watching it at Matt's house.
I don't even know how they made that movie back in the day.
There was an actual point to the movie, and when I listened to Ahmed give his analysis of it, I had more fun and had more appreciation for listening to his thoughts on it than suffering through all the time I suffered. I couldn't. And I was like, Sean Connery, he did not wear that outfit well.
No.
It just wasn't working. Oh,
but
my
you know what's
gosh.
crazy is that he said yes.
Oh.
Like, could you imagine? Just like.
And the guy who directed Excalibur. And I thought Excalibur was going to be better. And narratively, it sort of ish was, just because you could at least, it made some sense, whatever. But it was still terrible.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Parasite was another one that keeps popping up. But, I mean,
the Korean.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like
I never watched that movie.
It was okay. It got a lot of. It got
I
a lot
felt like
more
that
praise
was a bandwagoning movie.
It
as
was.
Well.
I mean, everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, this movie Fracture was a."
Fracture.
Yeah, it was one with another Ryan Gosling movie. He keeps popping up. He's like Cranberries. He's getting into everything.
Forgot.
It was.
What that was.
Ryan Gosling. He's investigating the murder of Anthony Hopkins' wife.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then Anthony Hopkins is like this somewhat eclectic genius guy who designs and builds things, and he is going to represent himself in court. So he basically gets himself off.
Okay.
For attempted murder of his wife.
Okay.
And
I think I've seen bits and pieces of that.
So the twist wasn't that you knew he did it, and
Anthony Hopkins.
You knew that he had killed his wife, and then the twist is finding out how he had done it and planted the gun, and because it was the guy she was having an affair with was an officer, and he went out and bought the exact same gun, swapped out the guns, killed her with the guy's service weapons, swapped the guns back, and put his gun back in his safe. And so they would do the ballistic analysis on his gun. It was the other guy's gun. And so then his wife is in the hospital, and he's on trial for this attempted murder. And so that's basically what's going on. And he's basically not going to keep her alive. He's going to have them pull the plug on her. Because if she comes through, what's she going to say?
Right.
Yeah, he killed her.
Right.
So she's at the point where she is going to die, and then he gets off, and then he's talking to Ryan Gosling, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it. Now you can't try me." Blah, blah, blah,
yeah, because double
blah.
jeopardy.
Yeah. No. So then she dies, and he comes back. And he's like, "Now you're on trial for murder."
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that was a pretty."
Because he was on trial for hurting. For attempted murder. Okay.
And then he gets him. He's like,
okay.
and he basically says, he's like, "Oh, you can't try me." He's like, "We're not. We're trying you for murder this time."
Yeah, right. Because it's totally different.
And he basically
situation has changed.
And he had already thought he got away with it, and he had confessed too.
Okay. I agree.
I think he said something
Enigma.
Like that.
It was.
Excalibur was.
Lord. I know a lot of people really like it, and it has very high scores, but it's that movie did not work.
It's one of those old movies that just like they throw in the positive score because it's old. The same thing with like
Simon loved that movie.
Oh, like Godfather. Everybody loves The Godfather,
and
for me, The Godfather is overrated. And two is probably the better of all three of them. But
I don't like any of them.
It's definitely not that great. Nothing fantastic. Same thing with Scarface. Everyone swoons over that movie, and it's not that great.
What was
His House? Never heard of it.
No, I haven't either.
Moon is there again. Memento was one we mentioned.
That one's coming up a lot.
Yeah.
The Gentleman? What? That's not twisty.
Only twist was at the very beginning. You're thinking he's shot and killed, and he's not shot and killed.
Fallen comes up. Lady in the
Water. Lady in the Water.
That was one of the M. Night Shyamalans, right?
Yeah, he keeps popping up. The Mist was like terrible. That ending was just such a god awful ending.
Did not like. I started watching it, and I was getting invested in it, and then I'm like, I'm getting way too invested in these characters, and I don't want them to die, and blah blah blah. So let me see what happens at the end. So I jump forward to the end.
I think the most depressing thing about it was like, this Thomas Jane's there, knowing that he can't save him, and so he kills his son, knowing he can't save him, to save him from.
He killed everybody.
Yeah,
in the
but
car.
to save them from a worse death.
Mm-hmm.
And then as
And
soon as
then
he
you
kills him,
find out-
and then help shows up, and it's like,
Right.
oh.
And then he couldn't kill himself. There were no bullets left.
Yeah. So then he literally just kills everyone for no reason.
That was terrible.
You could have saved him, buddy. Just waited 30 seconds.
Well, he thought they were about ready to. Ugh.
Yes, brutal.
I wonder if the book ends the same way, because I never read the book.
Yeah, I know it was a Stephen King, but I was
What's that
Inception.
one?
Inception.
That
The
was
ending's not so much of a twist; it's more of a
Twisty?
just very
Uncut
open-
Gems. That's
open.
not twisty, is it?
I haven't seen Uncut. I've heard it's really good.
What is that one?
Nightcrawler.
Oh, I never watched Nightcrawler. I was never interested in it.
It's a pretty good acting by Gyllenhaal in that one. Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
I've
Have
heard
you
his
seen-
Presumed Innocent show he's got on Apple. That's supposed to be pretty good. A lot of people are saying
Okay.
good things about it. So that one.
I might watch that because I didn't like him for a while after The Guilty.
Yeah,
it wasn't him. It was his.
Yeah, it was- I mean, my job.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, my job function along with it makes it.
It
very
very
not
difficult
right.
to.
Yeah.
And okay, so then I went and I watched the original. Have you seen the original?
No, you were saying that it's done better.
It's much better because in the Jake Gyllenhaal one, he's like yelling at people
Yeah.
and throwing things around and hanging up on people and being just such an asshole.
Good luck
So
keeping your job after the first day, buddy.
Right, you spend almost the entirety of the movie. I did
Yeah, no.
not like his character. So then when we have this little twist reveal as to what had happened, I did not care because I didn't like him. But in the original, he's mild mannered,
Mm-hmm.
and and he's in this situation, and he does get a little bit short with some people, but he's never like so
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you have to
blatant
be. You have
about
to be
it,
short
right?
with some people and
And,
bring them around because
so you
again,
like his character more.
Their tensions are high. Like when people were calling 911, their tensions are super high. So yes, sometimes you have to get short and bring them down. But once you got them down, like you can talk to them like normal
Yeah.
again, and then they start like, ho. Listen, hey, Jake. Look, we're trying just to get all the.
I advise
facts.
you watch the original. I think it's on Hulu.
Okay, I'll have to check that
It's Norwegian or Swedish or something.
So
So
I
it's
thought you said it was Denmark?
Okay,
Maybe-
somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Over there.
over there. Somewhere across the pond. But I thought it
Yeah.
was much better.
Donnie Darko. You know, it's
Yeah, I was getting
what's
ready to mention
interesting-
Donnie Darko.
So this would probably be something that kind of matches up with Arturo. See,
Okay.
I never saw Donnie Darko, and
Okay.
I don't know the twist.
Okay.
So Donnie Darko
I won't tell you then.
is my Sixth Sense friend.
So when I saw Donnie Darko, I knew what the ending was because it had been one of those things playing, and I happened to notice what
Saw
was
what was
happening at the
happening,
end.
okay.
So I knew going into it what was going to happen, but I didn't understand all the story. Now that movie is funny. There's so much comedy in there, like it like the dialogue comedy, and there's all these big names in there.
That haven't become big names yet.
Well,
or?
there's Patrick Swayze
Okay.
and Mary McDonnell, with the girl who played in Dances with Wolves.
Okay.
And Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake, of course.
Did they play sister and brother in here?
Mhm.
Okay, that makes it.
And the
work.
dialogue is quite comedic, and some of the stuff that happens with him there. And then there's like one of the teacher ladies, the chick who played in Speed, who tried to jump off the bus.
Okay, I don't remember who it was.
Anyway, yeah. So she played in. She was like some teacher, and she was really good the way she played. She was like a stick up the butt type of teacher, very harsh and rigid, and just
Yeah,
and
I know
just
a
the
couple of those.
dialogue and the exchanges between them was really funny. And then yet the movie could get really dark. So what?
Enigma's wrong.
Let's see. Hold on. Oh, hold on.
This
Sorry. I bet I can share when you guys have not seen Blood. I have
I have
definitely
Yeah,
seen that.
Link that one. That was
That was actually based on a
the
book.
Michael Connelly
Mhm.
book, which we read.
I watched the movie before I read the book.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, you know what? When I was watching it with Teresa,
Mm-hmm.
and when it was showing the baddie behind Clint Eastwood at one particular scene, and I was like, "Is that so and so?" Let's rewind. And she had already seen it, and so she gave me this look, and I'm like, "It is, isn't it?" And we were around it and looked up. Oh, like yeah, it totally is. They did a terrible job covering up his face.
That was a good one.
So another Michael Connelly book. That was a who was the character?
Terry.
Was he the reporter?
No, he's not the reporter.
No, he was an
But
investigator.
He was an investigator, but his name was Terry something.
Good. So you guys, Michael Connelly is a really solid author. If you like detective-y stuff, he wrote Bosch. He wrote the Lincoln Lawyer books, and Bloodwork was also one of his
which he's even interwoven into the Bosch universe. He worked with Bosch once. Terry McCaleb? Is that Terry McCaleb? I'm checking. Terry McCaleb.
Terry McCaleb.
I knew it was going to come to me before I got to it.
Was he in the? Is he in? Did I see him?
No,
I've seen Bosch.
No, I take it back.
Oh, you mean in the books?
So in the
yeah,
book,
I know in the books. Yeah.
So he doesn't work with Bosch.
I thought you meant in the show.
So no, Terry McCaleb.
He's been crossed. There's been a crossover.
He crossed over with the character from The Poet only.
Oh, the reporter guy.
The reporter.
Okay.
He crossed over with him, and it was either Scarecrow or the one after Scarecrow, and I don't think you've read that far.
I know that Terry.
What?
I know that Terry passes.
Okay, so the reporter,
I knew that.
The reporter's
yeah.
investigating his death.
Okay.
And
I have read that.
Okay.
I just
the way you said it, I was like, I've read all the books.
I'm like, okay, I know. You're ahead of me. You're ahead of me on the books, but I know. Yeah. I remembered that his character did die.
Yeah.
And so I have obviously listened to that book.
Okay.
I just forgot. I have forgotten.
So you read the one where he died.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so when it comes to Michael Connelly, just let you know, I have read every written word.
I know.
So
I
nothing,
know.
nothing gets spoiled there.
You're so ahead of me on that.
I am. You're so Jeff Daniels in that. I didn't realize that, Sam.
Well, Jeff Daniels was.
I know. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
I remember Angelica Houston. I'm not remember. It's been a long time since I've seen this one.
I only saw the movie once.
Another movie that I saw of him, which I remember liking, was
of who?
Another Clint Eastwood movie that I saw once was when he was Absolute Power.
With Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Well, he was a thief and he broke in.
He broke in, and it was the president's.
That one's a good one.
Or not the president's house, but it was the girl's house. I think it was, and then
I don't remember whose house it was.
Gene
but the
Hackman
president,
had killed this prostitute, and he witnessed it all. And that was a pretty good Eastwood movie.
Then there was the one where he had played a Secret Service agent.
Yeah, John Malkovich was the bad guy there.
Yes, but what was the name of that
In the Line of
one?
Fire.
Yes, that one. That one was a good one too.
Between the two of us, we know our movies.
We do. This is why. If we play on Taboo together, we play Taboo
ridiculous.
Together. You, me, and Matt especially.
Yeah, Matt's really good
we're
with
pretty
it.
much impossible to beat because we just go. We usually try to reference movies or stories or something.
Yeah, I remember one time we were playing with Matt, and he was just everything was
You
like
guys
everything was a movie actor.
Boom. Yeah.
And
Some sort of movie reference.
And people's names too. It was funny because my favorite one was the word salmon, and there was a friend of Dad's,
A cousin.
Yeah, cousin Jackie, and he just goes Jackie and Mary. And I'm like salmon done. And I remember all the heads going.
Yeah, and mom was like, I can't keep track of all these things to remember. How do you?
Well, it's your husband's cousin.
Yeah,
it was
that's
really
funny.
good. But yeah, it was funny because it would be things like, Star Wars, Empire, Strike.
Yeah.
Next.
Yep.
Next.
Yeah, that's why usually when we play with a bunch of people, they try not to have us on the same team.
That's why what was funny is that there's that movie Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon.
I don't think I saw that one.
And so it has Jon Favreau in it, and Jon Favreau is one of Vince Vaughn's brothers.
Okay.
And so the whole movie is just about Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon are together, but they're not married. They don't have kids, and they're not planning on having kids and starting a family. But as time is going on, through this Christmas, their relationship is breaking down because she's starting to think about having kids,
okay.
and that's not part of the relationship. And then they go, and both their parents are divorced, so they have to go to the dad's Christmas. The mom's
that's
Christmas.
Why there's 4 Christmas.
And then there's
the
dad's and the mom's Christmas, and they're all broken up. And so when they go to the mom's on Vince Vaughn's side, they're playing Taboo at the table.
Oh, okay.
Taboo. And So you have Jon Favreau and his wife, and they're like they're this very country bumpkins, you know,
Okay.
like they got this real country voice, but she's talking like this, you know, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So they're sitting down taboo, and Jon Favreau's eating what like buffalo wings while they're playing the game, and his wife is going through all the cards, and every clue she's like real quick, and and she basically just saying, she's like, oh, I can never wear this when I go to Costco. And he goes, string bikini. Next question, she's just like, all right, this is the only man I could cheat on you with, John Stamos. And then she's like, you and me humping on the beach. And he's like,
gross.
screensaver. And he was just like, boom, and they got like 12 points.
That's
and so
funny.
Then it had cut over, you know, Vince
That's
Vaughn's
funny.
trying to get her to do stuff. And
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and he's
It
giving
was.
her really good clues, but she's just not picking up on them, and they're just getting so frustrated with each other. And be like, you know, for the super simple clues, like, oh, Dr. Seuss book, the blank that stole Christmas, and she's like, and she can't. He's like, come on, Grinch. And then like he's like, oh, this is an easy one. Star Wars, can't say wars. So it's like it's going up this through every card. He's looking. He's like, and he's all mad at her. He's like looking at her all mad. You know,
Oh my gosh,
his
that's
teammates
funny.
not getting him. But
That's
man,
funny.
that scene was classic. It was a good one.
So we have a reminder here, a correction, that it was a powerful person's wife.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
I don't remember if I've seen The Heist.
Wait, no, that's the score. The Heist, I'm not sure if I saw.
Let me look it up.
I don't think I saw The Heist. I was thinking of the score instantly. And you know, it's funny because they discussed that movie, The Score. Did you ever watch it with Robert De Niro and Edward Norton?
I don't remember, to be honest.
So the movie The Score has Marlon Brando in it for a moment, and he's bringing in Robert De Niro to rob this museum of some jewels or some antiquities that are down in the basement, and the whole scheme hinges on Ed Norton's character, who has infiltrated the museum.
Okay, it's like an action crime drama.
With Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to rewatch the original version.
Oh, David Mamet. Okay.
It's Michael Caine. The original version of Get Carter with Michael Caine. I saw a long time ago the Stallone version, but I want to see the Michael Caine version. I heard it's better.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a...
I didn't know it was
Okay.
based. So anyway, back to the score. It all hinges on Ed Norton, who has infiltrated the museum as one of the security there to get them in. Now the problem is that Edward Norton is supposed to be this person with a disability, and he talks okay like this, talking like this. He's playing this mentally handicapped person, and so this other YouTube channel was kind of making fun of him. They're like, you know, it's a good movie, but it's like it just makes no sense. Like, why would you hire? First of all, use that as your ruse. I was like, you're gonna join the museum as the most memorable person,
Right, exactly.
and then they're like, and how do you get the job? I mean, he's like, usually if you're gonna hire some special needs person, there's got to be some company set up. You gotta get the permits for this. You gotta get the contracts for the city. And he goes, you can't just walk in here like, I'm gonna go tend to the Rembrandts.
Yeah.
He goes, they're gonna let you nowhere near these paintings.
Right.
So it was really funny when you watch it, thinking about that after the fact. But in the mix of it, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's not bad. It was probably the last time I think that Marlon Brando didn't act a fool in front of the camera. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Okay, see you, Sashi. Have a good day at work. It's Friday for you already. It's Friday for you already. Okay, well, I can't think of anything else to chat about unless you have something else.
I missed your brother's name.
Oh.
He makes a legitimate point.
Oh, this is Tim.
Tim.
This is
Tomato.
This is my brother, the author. I refer to my brothers as my brother, the author, and my brother, the artist.
Yes.
Matt is the artist. Tim is the author. So, okay.
Some men just want to watch World Bound. Yeah, so I do want to watch that one. That's another one on my list. So apparently the score for the original, I'm not sure if it's
what you say it's called again? I forgot.
It's called Get Carter.
Okay.
And the first one, oh my gosh.
And it was called Get Carter?
Yeah, they were both called Get Carter.
Okay.
And the only thing they've switched around, see? So this one with Stallone
That's got terrible reviews. Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone plays Jack Carter, a Vegas mobster who comes home to Seattle to bury his brother after an apparent car accident.
Okay.
Once home, he begins to believe that it may not have been an accident. His 2-day journey through the underbelly of the series leads Jack through revenge. Then, boom.
Okay.
You're talking the 20s and the 80s. Details.
Why?
Different setting. Jack Carter is a cold-blooded London gangster and not the sort of man you want to cross. When Carter's brother winds up dead, he travels to Newcastle to arrange the funeral. Convinced that his brother was murdered, Carter questions the local thick Eric.
Where is that?
What do you mean, where's what?
Like, where can that be seen?
I'm
Let me check
sure I can either
I'll
get that on
Letterboxd.
Vudu or something. But everyone I know that's like says this is like just the first time like you really see Michael Caine play like a kind of a badass.
It's called Get Carter. Hold
Yeah.
on. It's the one in 1970.
Yeah, it's an old movie.
It's on up there. Let's see.
Oh wait,
Oh,
The
here.
Heist. This person the Heist with Gene Hackman?
Yeah, I did look that up.
Oh, so I did see that. I did see that movie. Yeah.
I forgot
who had mentioned it. What was it? Now that because I was thinking about Gene Hackman and the French Connection out of nowhere. It's down. I think it's still the other way.
Is it down?
Yeah, because somebody had mentioned it.
Oh, Enigma.
Enigma. Okay, so
The unofficial sequel could be Michael Caine's Henry Brown or
okay.
Harry Brown.
Okay.
I watched Harry Brown in preparation for a live stream discussion. It was okay.
The Heist was okay.
It is not. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, I get what you're saying though, because I was thinking Harry Brown when he was talking about Michael Caine being a badass.
And so you haven't seen The Heist, right? That was basically
not.
They stole a bunch of gold in that movie.
I don't think I have seen it. It's not. If I did, it was a long time ago, and I've completely forgotten. So yeah, it's not. It's not anywhere streaming where we can. You have to buy or rent. So. Yeah.
So like in the end of the movie, are you ever gonna watch The Heist?
Oh, it's on Apple TV Plus.
Which one? Oh, the Get Carter. Okay.
Unless it's that's to rent, and here it says stream with free trial Apple TV Plus. So maybe it's on your Apple TV.
Maybe. Unless there's two different versions, Apple TV and then Apple TV Plus is something you
See
subscribe
here
to more.
it's showing Apple TV, and here it's showing TV Plus.
So then I guess you have
So
to
that might be the subscription one.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay.
I could probably still find it on the list
I would check your Apple.
or Vudu.
Correction, Fandango at home.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. It still says Vudu when you open it up on the app though.
No, it says Fandango when you open.
I know, but it's still like the app itself.
You had already opened it up. No, they've changed it.
They've changed it finally because it used to still say it.
They changed it on the Roku as well. It says Fandango.
Okay, so that's probably why it logged me out not too long ago.
I guess this is. Oh, this must be the people in the Heist, because the Heist is in early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember Sam Rockwell in it.
I don't. I mean, I assume you're talking about the Heist.
Yeah, at the very end of the movie, like he's double crossed by whoever was like setting it up, because there's always a double cross in a heist movie, right? And he's on his boat getting ready to take off, and
Don't
then
tell me everything.
I asked you if you were going to see it.
Did I say no? I said I hadn't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said no.
I don't know if I'll see it or not. Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, I don't remember who was he.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, I just don't remember him. This guy.
Oh, that guy. He played in Sound of Freedom.
Isn't he a real magician?
Ricky Jay?
Yeah, was he? Is he a real magician or no? I feel like he was. Is Ricky Jay a...
Wait. That's not the guy in Sound of Freedom. I don't think then.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm okay. Definitely wrong on that. I have no idea who he is, y'all. Yeah, the Heist. Sam Rockwell is the snotty guy who is son to Danny DeVito.
Okay, so yeah, Ricky Jay was a professional magician and the star of the Broadway show Ricky Jay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but it's interesting because he was in a movie one time where he was playing a magician.
Oh, of course.
And, he was doing all the acts, but then I think I had seen something once where he came out and I was like, is this guy an actor? I thought he was an actor.
Or a music. Did you know that Bill Bixby played in a show before The Incredible Hulk called The Magician?
Is it based off of
He just played a magician who would help people solve problems.
But is it based off of? I mean, is that old show with Bill Bixby based off of the new Magician show?
Oh, I didn't know there was a new show.
I was
What's the
telling
new
you.
show?
I think I was telling you about it. It's the one that's it's on my Vudu now. He solves people's problem, but it's not like he's like a rougher. He's a rough, tough guy.
So I wonder if it is.
Where's the Fandango? I'll show you.
I hate typing on my phone. I can't stand
You're so
it.
slow.
The Magician remake. No. Is it called The Magicians?
No, just the Magician.
The Magician, I honestly don't know, but there was Bill Bixby show called The Magician, and it ran in the earlier 70s.
Oh, so TV.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
73 to 74. I actually have all those episodes. I just haven't put them on my Plex.
So when he solves people's problems, like what kind of problems are we talking about here?
You remember the movie? I mean, the show Stingray, when he would help people with problems, that sort of thing.
Oh, I take it back.
What?
It's called The Mystery in Between.
Okay.
For some reason, I was thinking it was called something else.
Well, I know I am. Watch the original. I'm gonna watch the original. Okay, and then Harry Brown again. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I am still upset that the movie Now You See Me did not make their sequel title Now You Don't. I agree.
Wasted opportunity. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they were making fun of that with the Taken and Taken 2, because the first movie, you know, he's talking to his daughter and he's like, "Listen to me, Emily," or whatever her name is. He's like, "All right, you're going to be taken," and then she's taken. And so then in the second movie, the daughter is taken as well, and then his wife, I think, is played by Famke.
Yeah.
So then he's talking to her. He goes, "She's going to be taken. You're going to be taken also." and everyone's going,
"You don't typically talk that way. You're going to be taken
yeah,
also.
Yeah.
You would say you're going to be taken too."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And everyone was like, "Wait, it's Taken too.
Why didn't you slip that in there?
Toss it in there."
Yeah, just like a whole screw up with the Bad Boys movie titles.
Yeah, I don't know. That threw me off. I don't know why. And I think I forever will. I'm forever think that Ride or Die is
the second one.
Is the third one.
And Bad Boys for Life is the fourth one.
Yes.
Well, let's just pretend that's the way it is.
Let's pretend.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's all the movies that I had jotted down. I don't know if there was any other ones that
we
were
kind of
like
touched on a lot of the
like a
bigger
shock
ones.
and awe moment where as it's closing, you're just kind of blown away with the twist.
Yeah. A lot of the ones that come to mind are those bigger name ones. They're the more obscure ones that we've already talked about. I keep thinking that there's one I've got in the back of my mind that's just not coming to me, but in all the lists I've looked through, nothing has jumped out at me, so it just might be nothing.
Or either that, or it's just it is truly an obscure one that you probably spoke about like, "Oh my God, the ending of that movie was just wild."
So this is one of the reasons why I really like Letterboxd, because I log my movies
for everything.
For everything. I see that I note that I've watched a movie and I've totally forgotten that I've seen it.
There's just
because if I've completely forgotten that I've seen a movie, then that means it was one of the ones where I just had it playing and I remembered that I saw it, but I didn't pay attention to it.
As opposed to actually
paying attention to it. Yeah. So, anyway, so hopefully tonight we're going to see The Final Girls.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for that one.
So that's maybe what we'll do after we're done with this stream. Sin is writing a thesis on the Bad Boy. I tell you what, we all agree
that movie was solid. I mean, I was very pleasantly surprised. Again, after seeing the reviews for it, I had a feeling I was going to like it, but at first I was like, I feel like I'm not going to like it as much as I like the second one. And again, it brought it up to par.
It's definitely above number 2. So I had told you that my ranking is 3, 4, 1, 2.
Because you don't know how to count.
I do know how to count. You obviously don't know how to count because your ranking is 2, 1.
No. My ranking is 2, 4. It's 2, 4, 1, 3.
See?
2, 4. It's just 4.
Yeah, Critic List is great. I like Critic List. The only downside to Critic List is that, unfortunately, and I've asked them about, I think other people have asked them about this, and I think it might be a feature that's coming, but they don't yet have it to where you can transfer all of the things you've logged on Letterboxd over to Critic List, because I would like to have them, cross over,
or
because
just
so I don't
kind
have
of
to, because now when I post a review, I go to Critic List, post my review, go to Letterboxd, post my review,
because you can't just do both.
or that they would just automatically transfer.
Because I think that some of them, there are like some social media apps that do that, right?
Well, like,
play cross post, like you post it once and it cross posts.
Right. So like YouTube, when I post up on YouTube, I've got YouTube linked with BitChute and Odyssey, and I had it linked with Rumble.
Okay.
And they would automatically, when I would upload something to YouTube or do a live stream, whatever, it would automatically port over, right? And then, because I guess Rumble is sort of establishing itself-ish as a bit of a competitor to YouTube, now that feature doesn't work with Rumble.
That's kind of
So I have to go and manually, they is like completely cut. It works still fine on Odyssey, and it works fine on BitChute, but those are more obscure streaming platforms. A lot of people are on Rumble. Like a lot of people that get banned or demonetized on YouTube, they jump over to Rumble and they do really well.
Wow. Well, it was something weird like that. I remember with I feel like it was with the Amazon Fire Stick and Vudu.
Okay.
For a good bit of time, I do believe that's what it was. For a good bit of time, you could not download the Vudu app on Fire Stick because they were considered Amazon and Walmart.
I remember there was some weirdness.
So Walmart owned Vudu, and Walmart competes with Amazon, and because they were competitors, they did not allow you to do it. So what you had to do is, since it was an Android device, you had to go in there, go to your download
do
manager,
some sort of hacking
and
thing.
you had to download another app, open that one, and then you had to sideways laterally. You weren't jailbreaking your device to do it. You just had to sideways load an app through this downloader program, and then you would do that. And because you sideways downloaded an app, sometimes it would glitch on you, and then you'd have to delete it and redo it. Sometimes it was kind of annoying, but then over a period of time, they finally just allowed you to take it over, and you could just use it regularly. And I don't know if it was before or after the Fandango buyout, but that might have been something that made more
might
accessible.
have been. The open scene from Bad Boys 1 set the tone, and it was a good story. Number 2 was simply a victim to what action movies in general were doing, and Michael Bay is Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. He was.
I heard he did a cameo in all those films.
Yes, I think he's.
I didn't realize.
He's been. I don't remember. I don't know if he did one or not in Transformers, but I know he does a lot.
Oh yeah,
I know he does a lot in a lot of his movies.
Hi, Darth Plato. How you doing? Yeah. So, okay, this is probably my 4th or 5th attempt to try to wrap it.
Oh,
and
we're done.
We keep having things to talk about because stuff comes up, and then I see comments, and then I want to respond to them. But yeah,
Darth just got here. Now
Darth, yeah, I've seen Darth on other streams. Do you mod for Latino Slant and or Film Threat, Darth? I can't remember. Your name is really familiar to me. I've seen you, or maybe I've seen you on Deleted's. I forgot he was in the 3rd one, Arturo. Completely forgot, but apparently he was in the first 2 as well. Because when we were having that live stream discussion,
yeah,
someone was mentioning that he played the same character in more than one of those films. But then sometimes, like that. In number 4, he was the same character as in one of the other movies.
Another guy in a car.
Yeah, it was like the same or something. I don't know.
It's interesting how a lot of individuals.
Oh, Simon! Of course now.
So you saw that show with Chris Pratt, right? The Terminal List.
Yes.
So the guy who wrote the Terminal List, Jack Carr, something. The writer of the book.
Okay.
And he is apparently some sort of military SEAL or whatever. And he wrote these books. And he put himself in the show as well. And
I didn't know.
He is.
I wouldn't have known.
So there's a scene where he goes to a cafe and he's sitting down, and then he sees some dude with a hat walking around, and the dude's trying to get him, and then he runs out and gets, and he's running away, and the guy's in the car chasing him down, and then boom, 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 he shoots and kills him in the car. But that's the author of the books, and he put himself in there as an assassin to pretty much just be killed.
Had no idea.
But that was a pretty good show. I've been trying to coerce Mary to watch that one with me.
Oh, he's been lurking the whole time. We were actually talking about you before the stream started, Yeah.
What's he playing?
What are you playing?
Don't tell me Elden Ring.
I don't know. Well, hold on. I think I can tell you. Let me open up my Discord.
Sorry, we got all time. We got all the time to stream. Trust me, I don't listen to my wife either half the time.
Oh, you're everywhere, Darth Plato. I am everywhere.
The running joke between me and her family is, I'll be able to quote lines from movies, know what actors in this, what this, and I was like, yeah, but then she'll say, "Did you take out the trash?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't hear you say that." that information's.
Polly's yeah. Polly's great. I really like Polly. There's
It was
so
really
many
cool to see
absolutely
him
amazing.
Meet him.
Right? Yeah. He came
him
over.
and Film Threat.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys bonded over the postman. He was
had
so
my
happy
moment.
that
I had
somebody
my
else
moment.
liked it as much as he did.
I was like, I found another person in California.
And so
that
did
likes
he. He was
this.
so happy. He was just like so happy.
This is I was talking about the postman at dinner, wasn't I? Yeah.
Yes, you were. You talk about it often. I've heard about it a lot. A lot.
Anyone knows how to get through my heart? It's through the postman.
He says he's playing. I know I am. Because I get on here and I get to talking, and then I get engaged with the comments, and then it's hard to wrap up. Just Cause 3.
Oh, okay, I know Just Causes. I haven't played any of them.
Okay. Okay, so we're definitely watching the Final Girls tonight,
Yes.
or did you want to do it tomorrow?
No, we can do it tonight.
Okay, because if we do it tomorrow, I can't stay up too late, and I don't stay up as late as I used to.
I was up till 2 last night.
Well, that's because you're on California time.
Yeah, it was rough.
I typically am in bed before 1 now.
Dude, early.
You know why? Because I like to get up earlier because I actually feel more productive when I get
That's
up.
how I am.
So
I like to get my day started.
I don't
at
sleep
work at
until
6, be
10
over
or
at
11 like I
2:15.
used to.
Man, it's nice to be off at 2:15, work out 3:15, have that all done. At
Yeah.
4 o'clock, I have coffee, pick up the kids, dinner.
yeah,
It's
I'm
the
like
dream.
I'm up, and then I'm not able to sit down and have my coffee until about 45 minutes after I'm up, because I get up.
And are you having another cup of coffee?
No, not tonight. I can make you one if you want, but I'm not having one
I'll
because
go make
it's
some.
9:32.
I'll make some.
And I don't want to stay up until like 1 or 2 tonight. That's why we do need to go watch the Final
Now,
Girls.
let's do it.
So, we're going to wrap this
Stream's
up.
over.
Thank you to everyone for showing up. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this.
Thanks for inviting me, Sam.
I kind of dumped on Polly a little bit ago about the Batman spinoff Penguin.
Yeah,
I have not seen.
Wait, hold on.
I have not seen it. I've not.
Is there a trailer for it? Is that what you're saying? What do you mean?
Wait.
Penguin.
Wait, what?
I don't know what's happening here. What's happening?
Wait, I was thinking something else.
I was thinking about the Penguin with Colin Farrell.
That's what I was thinking.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's what I
Is that
was.
why he's calling it Penguin? Because it's Farrell? I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
know.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
All right.
to seeing that one.
Yep. We'll see you. I don't know when the Penguin. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do another two. You know what? If I had like nothing to do tomorrow, I probably would hang around for quite a bit longer. But we're gonna go watch the Final Girls. He's never seen it. I was telling him about it last night, and he was intrigued.
Yeah.
And I'm down to watch it, and I don't want to stay up too late. So we need to. Your little monsters are probably in bed.
They should be. If not, I'm going to put them to bed.
Oh yeah.
They actually might be awake still.
Oh, they might be. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Because
be
it's
surprised.
6:30 to them.
Yeah. And they were up at 9:30 today.
Oh,
They
well,
slept
they'll
in.
be up earlier. I have suggested we get a 6-player game of TMNT Shredder's Revenge. If you,
I love Shredder's Revenge. My son plays it. He likes playing as the girl that was the download. I can't remember her name now. And I usually play Leo. Because I'm by the book. I'm by the rules.
I don't think he can convince me. I'm not into those games, unfortunately. Tim, you and Simon should hook up
Simon,
and play sometime. Because Tim loves to play.
If you're on PSN, there's a new monthly game. I guess Streets of Rage 4. It's such a beautifully illustrated game. It's a good one. I was playing that with Hudson.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. We're tearing through it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like Teenage Mutant.
You're on my Discord.
Yes.
You and Simon could communicate
I'm
on Discord.
barely on
if you
Discord. If I am on Discord, I'm usually on Midjourney.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You just bash buttons. Yeah, I know, but still. Oh, PC only here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
not
he
in.
does
I'm
have
just,
Streets of Rage 4 though.
okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hit the. Oh, thank you, Darth. Thank you for commenting. Thank you to everybody. I know this is like the 6th time. Okay, so have a good one, guys. Drink more coffee. No,
No
no.
cocaine. No cocaine.
No more coffee tonight. I've had my 3rd cup. I drank it during the stream. So that's it for now. Once again, muchas gracias for showing up, everybody. And don't know when the next one... Well, I know when the next one will be with Sound Booth Theater, mid-July. But I'm not sure when mine will be. So I'll keep y'all posted. And we'll see you later. Now, when I hit end stream, it takes a couple seconds for it to end. And just we like pause here. And I don't have like a closing video. So, all right, you guys.